what's happening, and happy Friday night. A little bit of a soggy one, a windy one, but depending on where you're at, not too bad. And temperature-wise, fantastic. It feels like a nice October Friday night from a temperature standpoint, especially with some of that breeze. Hey, let's check in. Brent Martineau, Stuart Weber along in just a moment. Our Hall of Fame coach, Kevin Sullivan, as well, and all the folks that help us make this thing happen. Week 8, we've been having a lot of fun. We've been showing you games right down to the wire. Each and every week, it seems like we have at least one that comes right down to the wire, and hopefully one of these 5 do the same thing. Our game of the week, our Whataburger game of the week is Mandarin and Fletcher. Mandarin just took the lead in the final minute of the first half, then a 2-point conversion, 8-7. Been a really good football game, and Fletcher has been in control most of the way. That is also airing play-by-play, just that game, on our YouTube channel. Also on Action News Jax Now channel on actionnewsjax.com and the Action News Jax app. Meanwhile, right here on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network, you get that game, and then you get this one too. Bradford and Newberry will show you all the action for the rest of the night. Creekside and Atlantic Coast, same deal. I'm trying to find out if that's at halftime. Would be quick to go to halftime for 7 o'clock, but maybe it did, especially on a sloppy night. We've got Middleburg and Ponte. Looks like folks are feeding back some of the highlights because that one's at halftime as well. So we'll get you up to date on that. And also, this one is UC and Hawthorne. It looks like we might start with UC right at the doorstep. So what the heck? Yeah, let's keep an eye on that one because Hawthorne, according to ScoreStream, is up 22-0. So UC's got to get going a little bit. And here we go. From the 1-inch line, and we got ourselves a little tush push, and UC gets on the board. So 22-6. That's the way we get this thing rolling on a Friday night, week number 8, here in the Jacksonville, Florida area, as we have some out-of-town teams, actually, Newberry and Hawthorne. We are keeping an eye on. So 22-8. Okay, they had scored. That was a 2-point conversion. And plenty of time in the football game to go. Is that just the first quarter? You never know if the board's right? Never know if the board's right. So 22-8 is our score, at least for now. A couple of scores to check in with. In fact, let's come over here with me, and we don't have a lot of people reporting. Not all precincts reporting. Lowndes all over Camden County. I tell you, it's a tough go for Camden County. We know they're really good, and that region, we say it every week, is just really good. And right now, down by a couple of scores. Fort White over Zarephath, 28-0. There's that Hawthorne score, just made it 22-8. Santa Fe over Keystone Heights, 14-7. That might be all we have right now. Statesboro over Brunswick, 14-7. So we'll see if we can update some of the scores around the area. I was at Baldwin and Wolfson a short time ago, so 21-0, 5 minutes in. Baldwin was in clear control of that football game. Let's bring in our Hall of Fame coach as we continue to check out some of the action, and then we'll catch you up on the entire second half action. And Kevin Sullivan, he is our Hall of Fame coach. And Sully, week 8, sloppy one. Prepare to run the ball, play some defense, get the ball out of the air on a windy night too.
Yeah, usually we have that week 1, 2, and 3. Not this late. We haven't had one like this late.
Yeah, the funny thing about it is we've always had to contest with some tropical storms and systems. Mm-hmm. That's not it here, although it does kind of feel a little bit like that because of all the wind. I mean, I was at Wolfson, and that wind's blowing sideways. If I was teeing off with the wind, I could hit it another 40, 50 yards. Into the wind, that thing's boomeranging and back right at me. So I do think, I was even thinking about it, if you throw it to the right side of the offensive set or the left side of the offensive set, it actually would affect the ball the way the wind was blowing at Wolfson. Now, it depends where your field is set up, but that's kind of wind it was out there, really blowing pretty good. So we'll see what kind of effect it has on some of the places. Now, the other interesting thing, Sully, is we now have more turf fields than ever before, and that continues to grow. And I don't really know what the percentage split is, but if you got a turf field, it's a better night than if you've got a grass field, don't you?
Yeah, and a couple of those fields, Ed White, Mandarin's, First Coast, they're not been notorious for being really good drainage areas in that. So there'll be some quagmires and big running games tonight on some of those places.
Well, the other thing, there's a lot that goes into this from an administrative standpoint, I think, as well. Fleming Island and Beachside's game was canceled early this morning. So they said, hey, we're looking at this and, whether it was because it already had been dumped on. I think a few inches of rain had landed there over the last 24 hours or so, is what I was told. But there's two things to consider. What's it going to be like tonight? What's the gate going to be like as well? Because you want that Friday night gate for a good crowd. And then also, how is it going to impact the football field moving forward for the next few weeks on grass especially, right? I mean, don't you have to take all those things into consideration?
Yeah, a lot of consideration, especially with the winter sports getting ready to crank up too a little bit with soccer tryouts and everything starting in another week or two. So some of them only have maybe one practice field and then the game field. So talking about the gate, Mandarin's homecoming tonight, so you expect a monster crowd at Mandarin tonight, and then the rain comes and sort of dampens that.
Yeah, that'll change it just a little bit, but they are playing. Oh, what a catch on the bottom there. How about Hawthorne as they're already up 22-8? How did he catch that? That was a terrific play by that young man. Top right, we've got Atlantic Coast and Creekside, and it looks like ACH. Oh, we got a fumble on and we're sliding and diving cover it. For the Creekside Knights, their defense comes up big. Looks like the Stingrays were about to go in a bit there. I don't know if 22 is the one who recovered it. He's the one celebrating quite a bit.
Yeah, we got a score on that game yet?
We're about to see it right now. So we are in the third quarter. Creekside's up 14-0. That first half flew by. They must have just ran the ball. Maybe it was really raining down there because it was a 7 o'clock start, right? Yeah, Creekside? Yeah.
Creekside would have been 7, yep.
Yeah, to be at 8:13, already be playing the third quarter? That's pretty quick.
Yeah. Harris Oliver, number 22 there.
All right.
For the fumble recovery of Creekside.
All right, so there you go. And that's a district championship game, Sully. Atlantic Coast has played some good games. Creekside looks like they're getting better and better. The Knights 14-0 lead. Both teams already beat Sandalwood, so obviously that's a big one tonight for both.
Yeah, district champion is probably going to get in, so it's real important, but no guarantee these other two, as maybe a 5-5 team, is going to get into the game, get into the playoffs. I mean, so the winner of this has got to pass in the playoffs, anyways.
All right, yeah, that's a very interesting distinction because usually you win district championship over the years, pretty much a guarantee. Well, it was a guarantee. We just saw University Christian and Hawthorne. Hawthorne answers UC's touchdown 2-point conversion with a touchdown and 2-point conversion, we think, of their own, right?
I think that was just a touchdown.
That was a touchdown?
The long catch I saw put him out of bounds at about the 1.
Okay.
And so that was the touchdown with a minute 13 to go in the first quarter. They started 7:30 over at UC and 36 points. That's why they're a little behind some of these other ones when it comes to your timing. Raheem Moore with your touchdown there. Of course, Hawthorne, perennial contender. Head coach Cornelius Ingram, the former Gator tight end.
Yeah, Sully, what a job he's done, huh? That's become a powerhouse program,
mater, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they've won the state championship, got beaten the state championship as a runner-up, and a really good job, really good competitive team. And they play during the regular season. They'll play up and everything also.
What about UC? UC has been interesting. They lost to Bishop Kenny. We're so used to them just winning games, being good. Kind of another one like where you go play really tough teams, get yourself ready for the postseason. What do you know about UC this year? It doesn't appear like they are dominant by any means, but are they good enough to make a late season run?
Well, I think they'll make a little bit of a run. I believe they're pretty young in some key spots. Graduated a couple really good players last year. And I believe they're young in some key spots. So I think Coach knows going in that this is sort of a rebuilding year for them and just trying to break through, get better, get into the playoffs, gain some good experience for next year.
Let's take a look at our top left game. You got Bradford and that dominant defense against Newberry and Weber. Newberry's a team that's had Bradford's number over the couple of years, right?
Yeah, last year. Bradford had been on this tremendous run and then ran into Newberry in the regular season and the postseason last year, losing both games. I believe that was their only 2 losses last year.
So.
Both coming against Newberry and both coming down to the wire as well. So, I can guarantee you this was an easy pregame speech for Jamie Rogers.
Yeah.
To get the boys fired up and get them excited to go out there and beat the team that beat them last year.
Hey, Sully, you got the fireworks ready to roll there out at Bradford High School tonight or what, even in the rain?
No, heck yeah, they're going to go off. It'll be safe that way.
We got our guy Ping out there. He's never been to Bradford. He's about to get an experience tonight, isn't he?
I told him the fireworks were coming.
It's beautiful out there now, especially if the rain stays away. Such a great atmosphere out there at Bradford County.
Yeah, they've done a great job building it, and they've got another good football team. They've been winning games, and we'll see how this one shakes out tonight for for the Bradford Tornadoes. So keep an eye on 5 games. Obviously, 2 of them at halftime. Mandarin and Fletcher in a good one in our Whataburger game of the week, 8-7.
I was listening to that one on the ride back to the station.
Yeah, scored late in the half.
Late in the half, they scored. As you see, our 5 matchups on the Friday Night Zone Blitz.
Middleburg, Ponte Vedra. Okay, folks out of Middleburg been like, hey, what about us? We're undefeated, right? 7-0 and playing a good Ponte Vedra team. This is an interesting battle. Ponte Vedra leads 13-7 at halftime, so it looks like we could get a good second half there, Stuart.
Yeah, you said it exactly right. We're waiting to see Middleburg really step up that level of competition. And look, Ponte Vedra is absolutely that. And they're hanging with them. They're having a great game out there in the Berg. So excited to see how that second half goes once the next 4:43 elapse and we can get back to action down there in Clay County.
Yeah, that hit halftime right when we came on with our Friday Night Zone Blitz. Sully, Ryan Wolf's done a terrific job out there at Middleburg to get them undefeated. They'll also have our game of the week coming up in a couple of weeks right here on the Friday Night Zone Blitz and our Whataburger game of the week. But Middleburg program going in the right direction as we see a nice kickoff return down there for UC. Wolf's done a nice job.
Yeah, Coach Wolf's done a really good job getting them back, getting it competitive, getting kids out in the program and everything. And, again, he's building the program. Hopefully this is the time of year for him where he runs into some better teams that haven't been on his schedule. And hopefully they can take the next step tonight and get that one big quality win that they've lacked the last couple of years. But, again, he's building a foundation.
Yeah, he's done a good job of building that foundation, and we'll see where they can take it this year. Top left, by the way, Bradford leads 7-0. They just pile up the Newberry back on that possession as they've crossed midfield. Keep in mind, Bradford's defense is top notch, has been for a few years. So that 7-0 is a big deal. It's not. That could hold up when you're talking about the Bradford Tornadoes, usually on the defensive side of the ball. Atlantic Coast trails 14-0 against Creekside. That's the top right. Down there in St. Johns County, that's a district championship game. Could be a deciding factor in a potential playoff bid for both of those schools. UC and Hawthorne, and UC's got their hands full down there on the bottom as the first quarter looks like it's come to a close. 28-8, the score, Hawthorne over UC. So how about all the scoring? It might have been 30. Let's see, they had the 2-point conversion? Yep. Yeah, 28-8. So, man. A lot of scoring in that first quarter in that game. And again, we're about to get set for our Whataburger game of the week, second half, as Fletcher's going to kick off to Mandarin. That's been a really well-contested game. I said this when we first got on, that Fletcher has actually had the upper hand in that game. Sully, I don't know if you've been watching a bit of that one, but always a good matchup with the Gateway Conference, and C4 has them playing well against that talented Mandarin team.
Yeah, and again, I think the weather plays in the Fletcher's hands a little bit more, with Mandarin's more throwing it around and everything. So I think that this has been a good game, and again, this big second half coming out. Weather definitely going to be a factor. Fletcher's got to keep moving the football, playing good on defense.
Yeah, and early in this game, Fletcher lost their big running back after a long run and an awkward slide or tackle. So he's out, but still, Fletcher has hung in there defensively, played really well. I think Bryson Wright, coach, had 0 catches in the first half, if I'm not mistaken. They threw his way one time, and there was an interception. So they've done a very nice job against the talented wide receiver for the Mustangs.
Yeah, and again, just trying to force them to throw the ball in those conditions. Look at the field. You can see it's all squashy. The lines aren't even there. And should be a good one. Get an old quagmire going on down there at Mandarin.
You said day of the word of the day right there.
You said it right, too. I think it does fit Fletcher. Though I will tell you this, Mandarin's been running the football at a very nice rate as well. Their problem is what you just saw. They keep getting penalties. Look how wet it is out there. So, yeah, they just keep getting penalties, and they've got to quit that because they've been negating some big plays, including that kickoff return to start the third quarter right there. But you can see it.
And also got to take care of the football, too, with the weather.
Yeah. There's a timeout on the field for the – oh, okay, there's an injury. It looks like maybe a cramp over there for Fletcher. So we'll get back to that game. Yeah, I'm looking at that game and the rain coming down. I'm looking at the field conditions. And how much discussion, Sully? You've been the AD. You've been a head coach for a long time. What kind of discussions go into – should we play? And football can be played in the rain. We're not talking about storms and thunder, lightning. That wouldn't happen.
Right.
Or a tropical system that school's out because of it. Like everybody went to school, so you usually play. But is there discussion on how to balance that as we see a blocked punt in the Bradford game, and Bradford falls all over that? So a big special teams play. The Tornadoes will get the football right around midfield. I don't think this conversation takes place if you're playing on a turf field like Bradford has right there. But when you're playing at Mandarin High School and, that discussion, does it run pretty deep? Or is it like, hey, as long as it's not thunder and lightning, we're playing?
Well, most coaches want to play the game the night it's scheduled because they've done all the prep work and everything. The only thing that you'd have a problem with tonight would be the safety on the field, like if it's really unplayable and that. If not, they're going to try to play this game and get it in no matter what.
Yeah, I hear you there. As we look at Knox Annis goes up top, and is that Bryson Wright? Yes, it is. How about that catch right there?
Well, on the wet field, the wideout's going to have the advantage because he knows where he's going, and the DB is at a disadvantage, we've always thought.
Yeah, no doubt. But that was really not bad coverage. It was a heck of a throw. I think Fletcher's done a nice job covering Bryson Wright for the most part tonight. I haven't seen every play. But when I look up and they're trying to get it to him, pretty sticky coverage. Heck of a throw by Knox Annis there.
It's funny to me that the yard lines are like illuminated by the mud. It's almost like in a snow game where you kick off the yard lines. They put mud on those lines so you could see it, I guess.
They do.
Well, remember, a lot of times the county paints the field, so they don't paint it till this morning. So it could have been a muddy field and trying to put paint down on top of it, too, so that's not going to help out any.
Yeah, that's a good call. Atlantic Coast has the football back against Creekside, bottom left. Bradford leads Newberry, top right, 7-0. And on the bottom right, Hawthorne in the lead, 28-8 in the second quarter over University Christian. So we're showing a couple out-of-town teams today. And that top left, our Whataburger game of the week. Hey, let's listen in to Mandarin as they enter the red zone here, up 8-7 against Fletcher.
Mandarin moving this football. Not there.
Hand off to Owens.
Xavier Carmichael with the tackle for loss.
Stop by number 32.
Good tackle by him. Way to get in the backfield and make a play as the Mustangs are picking up momentum.
Lost a yard on the play.
It's a really big play by the Senators defense, and now they got to capitalize on this second down coming up.
2nd and 11. Taking another shot. Weish! Incomplete.
Pass intended for Tion Weish.
Broken up by Jadarian Andrews.
Dangerous throw right there. Weish had him by like a step, maybe. Tight coverage there by Andrews. Way to get up there and make a play on the ball. I thought he was about to pick it for a second. Not sure if it went through his hands or if he just swatted it. But all in all, good play by the Senators defense, and now it's 3rd and long.
3rd and 11 on the Fletcher 22. No matter what they get here, they're going to go for it on 4th down. Annis, shotgun formation. And a timeout is called by the Mustangs.
So we got a little timeout on the field there as we're taking a look at the Fletcher Senators and the Mandarin Mustangs in our Whataburger game of the week. 3rd down coming up for the Mustangs. They lead 8-7. It's been a very good game. Just started the 3rd quarter. Brody McGuff and Noah Schlicksup on the call. Chandler Dantzler back here in the studio helping that game as well. You can watch every play of that if you want. You don't want to watch us, you can just go to YouTube or Action News Jack's Now stream and you can watch just that one. We've got a big catch in the Creekside game, looks like right there. That one thrown up for grabs, and a Knight came down with it in the top right of the screen, as we've got action all over the place in 5 different spots. That's a big game with 14-0 is the score. Creekside over Atlantic Coast. Maybe we can take that one full. Nice job. Thank you. And inside the, 15-yard line, I guess it is, for Creekside, as they're coming off a big win last week. Was last week the Fleming Island game?
Yeah.
Last week, Fleming
They all
Island
run
game.
together. Monday Night Football throws off the schedule.
Last Friday seems like a long time ago, Sully. Probably for you, too. You were at that Monday Night Football affair.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I've been to a lot of games at that stadium. That might have been the most electric one I've been to, I know, in the last 10 years.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, so here we go. Creekside, a good run right out of the quarterback position. Gets them inside the 10, inside about the 7 or 6 yard line, as they are leading 14-0. Third quarter, this game's moving fast. And we'll show you every play of it. Basically, district championship on the line, maybe a playoff spot potentially on the line. A little more on Creekside, Sully. We're seeing Coach Sean McIntyre out of that tough early part of the schedule. They took their licks, a new offense. Just about every player on that team looks like they found themselves a little bit and building some momentum and confidence as the season goes along.
Well, yeah, most definitely. I mean, the quarterback that started for them wasn't there until about 4 weeks before the season started, moved in from Texas. And so it's going to take him a little bit of time to gel and everything. And we know, being around, that Creekside is going to be able to score points and that. But it's taken them a few games. They played good people early, and now they're starting to feel better and playing better.
So we're at a water break in the third quarter, I think, at that one, or maybe it's just a timeout. I think it's a water break, and we'll keep an eye on Creekside as they try to score. Bottom right, Hawthorne looks like, they're playing defense. They're not scoring. UC has the ball at their own 35, and they need to score because Hawthorne has put up 28 points in the first 15 minutes of this football game as they're in the early second quarter stages. And, we got a bomb for UC. We got to connect. Meanwhile, we're back at it in Ponte Vedra and Middleburg. Ponte Vedra bottom left with the lead 13-7. Early stages of the third quarter there. Middleburg trying to stay undefeated. And this would be, again, a really good win if Middleburg could somehow find a way. But right now, Ponte Vedra trying to get a good win on the road against Middleburg. And they lead at 13-7, have the ball on the Bronx side of the field. Back at it, third down for the Knights. And Arazi Sperry, and they're going to run it again. And this time, I think he's getting in. He does get in. So they play it safe, and you got to kind of do that on a day like today because you don't want the ball exchanging hands too much. That one might put the game away. 20-0 now on a wet night down there in St. Johns County in a big matchup. Creekside takes the lead and pitching a shutout against Atlantic Coast.
Yeah, you saw that puddle down there on the track. You can only imagine how much they've had to get off the playing surface.
Squeegee
it off of there.
Squeegee from the tennis courts.
You can see the softball field from here, too.
We can.
Yeah.
Softball field looking good there.
You've seen quite a bit of that softball field over the years.
Or maybe not. Coach Neal, you might want a tarp. I keep telling him you should get a tarp down there.
He's waiting for Action Sports Jacks to sponsor a tarp.
Get the booster club. I'll put my face on the tarp down there.
Oh, my goodness. We don't need that.
I have threatened that, actually, many a times down there. The UC just made a nice play, bottom right.
Yeah, nice pickup there from Amari Mack.
Oh, you have good eyes. You can see that number, huh?
Number 2.
Wow. Good work.
Gets him inside the 40.
Good work. Top left now, we got Mandarin back at it as they go to the ground game, and Fletcher really trying to sniff this out right around the goal line, inside the 5-yard line. What the heck? Let's listen to the fellas once again and see where we're at with Mandarin up 8-7 in the third quarter and looking to punch another one in.
Making some substitutions ahead of this play. They run up the middle. And that one is going to fall around the 1 or 2 yard line. And now there's a player slow to get up for Mandarin. Trayvon Gordon.
All right, we'll check back in with that game. Hate to see an injured guy there. Is Mandarin ready to punch it in? Maybe it looks, I don't know if it's 3rd down, 4th down coming up. We'll figure that one out. Meanwhile, over here, Ponte Vedra just scored again in the 3rd quarter. So now they lead Middleburg 20-7. Middleburg, by the way, 6-0. I think I said 7-0 a couple times, trying to get to 7-0. They are 6-0, and there's the score, 20-7. A lot of football to be played at Middleburg still, but Ponte Vedra also trying to get a nice W on the road. And what do you make Ponte Vedra's season, Coach? Been kind of an up and down one so far, hasn't it?
Yeah, they've been a little bit up and down. Again, they lost a close one to Creekside early, and then they played like escaped one again after that, and then they blew somebody out the next week. But they do a good job. Usually when the games that they've got to win and get after, they do a really good job.
Yeah, Coach Price usually has them ready to go. We got some tunes playing. I don't know which game I think that's at the Middleburg game, but either that or that's at your house, Sully. I don't know.
No, not me. No tunes on in here. I don't think we do. I don't know what Miss Tammy's watching on the TV. So
I was dancing out here in a minute or two. Yeah, I thought it was at Middleburg during that break. And keep the people entertained, and they were doing just that. The Bronx will get the football back there on that score on the bottom left. We got a Ponte Vedra highlight for the touchdown, I think, before we get to action. We don't want to miss that Mandarin one. No, we won't. All right, let's see what we got. And what we have is a touchdown throwing up top. Nice contested catch. That is Jake Berquist as he went up and got it. Cole Rosendahl, the quarterback for Ponte Vedra. Here it is again. Little pressure. Throws it up there. And Berquist able to catch it. He's had a couple of those, or a lot of those so far this year. And that's Ponte Vedra going up 20-7 over Middleburg just a moment ago. Now, top left, here goes Mandarin trying to score. Looks like out of the Wildcat. And oh, the ball is loose. But a recovery, and can they get in? Oh, my goodness gracious. A little bit of shades of Jacksonville on Monday night, where everything looked broken until it wasn't, as Seanquiz Foster. He's had a heck of a night running the football, number 5. Can't handle the snap, and, well, nobody could find him, Sully. Sometimes the broken play is a good play.
But he made it happen.
Yeah, that's how they draw it up. That's what they'll tell you. Yeah, we draw it up like that. But one thing I noticed, like coming out of the 3rd quarter on a couple of these games, is they're throwing the ball because the balls aren't waterlogged.
Oh, yeah.
Bryson Wright's got 2 catches. Then the PB, we see a touchdown pass. So good coaching there for those guys.
Yeah, here's Bryson Wright, by the way. He's going on the Wildcat. He shakes a tackle, and somehow he got through. I don't know how they didn't tackle him, but there was a flag down on the play. So let's see if that's a big play, too, because right now it's 15-7. Mandarin in the lead over Fletcher. If they score, it's 14-7. If they score the 2-point conversion, 16, which would make it a 2-possession game. So let's see.
Looks like a hold.
Yeah, it looks like a hold. So it was going to be 14-7 right now with an extra point or 2-point conversion pending. Let's see what they choose to do once they get backed up. Looks like they got the field goal kicker out there. So we will see if they can do a tough night to kick, tough night to do a lot of things. You can really see in the last shot or two the rain coming down at Mandarin, and it's not letting up. And we knew that would be this kind of night. There were some spots. I was out at Wolfson earlier, and the time I was there, maybe a sprinkle or two, but it wasn't bad. Mandarin, there's been a pretty good rain a good chunk of the night so far, and a lot of football still to be played. So this is a big extra point after being pushed back, and I don't think he got it. And so 14-7 is the score of this game. Fletcher in the Mandarin in the lead. Fletcher trailing by a touchdown. So, all right, where are we going here, Brian? We got another highlight in, it sounds like. Oh, just from here. Here is the touchdown, and this is how it happened. Foster loses it, and then they can't contain him. Again, broken play can sometimes be a good play. We see it on kick returns. We saw it Monday with Trevor Lawrence. Chris Jones just stops. I don't think anybody stopped here, but it was just a good athletic play by Foster, and he was able to get to the pylon and score in the pouring down rain. It's 14-7 in our Whataburger game of the week. Meanwhile, in the Newberry Bradford game, unless we missed something, this thing just keeps being played between like the 40-yard line and the 40-yard line every time we look up. 7-0, Bradford in the lead. Creekside leads at 21-0, I think is the score now, if they hit the extra point over Atlantic Coast. Bottom right, Hawthorne has the football, driving again in command over UC, 28-8. And bottom left, Ponte Middleburg. Ponte leads it. We just showed you that latest touchdown, 20-7 is the score in favor of the Ponte Sharks. Let's do this. Take a timeout as everybody's kind of settled in at our 5 different games. We show you every single play of, and onside kick attempt by Mandarin there. The Fletcher Senators get it. We'll take a timeout. It's the Friday Night Zone Blitz. The entire Action Sports Shacks team at it here on a Friday night, week number 8. We'll show you all the fun stuff remaining up until midnight tonight, by the way. We're just getting warmed up.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com. Burgers or breakfast, you can get it all at Whataburger. Try something new on the menu or an all-time favorite like the Whataburger Patty Melt.
And now you can have breakfast here at Whataburger 12 hours a day, 11 p.m. until 11 a.m. Menu items like the bacon taquito, sausage taquito, honey butter chicken biscuit. Whether you work the late night shift, just want a snack early in the morning to get your day started, or a little pick-me-up late in the morning, 12 hours a day, breakfast served, 11 p.m. until 11 a.m.
A dozen locations in Jacksonville. You can order pickup or delivery and download the Whataburger app. New rewards members get free Whataburger items when placing their first online order. Just download the app. And for us coffee drinkers, Whataburger has all new hot coffee and iced coffee too. Satisfy that coffee craving at Whataburger 24/7, and it comes in a variety of flavors. Burgers, breakfast, coffee, and so much more. Whataburger, just like you like it. Baker's Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University.
Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School.
Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker's Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Tony Mazzio, Stanwood High School, class of 2002.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oakleaf High School.
Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Shacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament, and many others.
Cole Tilley, Hilliard High School.
Reagan Webb, Eagles View Academy.
Look good, feel good, play good with Baker Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com.
Let's take you to the scoreboard here as we welcome you back to the Friday Night Zone Blitz. Brent Martineau, Stuart Weber, our head coach Kevin Sullivan as well, and the entire Action Sports Shacks team on a Friday night, week number 8. A lot of good games going on. We're showing you 5 different games, play-by-play. We'll take you there in just a moment, but let's get you caught up on some of the scores as well. Good one, Madison County and Rains. And Sully, I want you to jump in here as we look at that 19-14. Says in the fourth quarter, this is Rains' toughest test of the year right now.
Yeah, right now Madison County ran the opening kickoff back, and Range was behind 6-0 to start the game. So they sort of battle back, but they're going to be tough. They know Madison's tough. It's a really good game for them, probably their last tough one before the playoffs.
Yeah, good test right now. We'll see if they can close it out against Madco, two really good, proud, traditional programs. Baldwin-Wolfson, 41-7. I was there earlier. It was 21-0 first 5 minutes. Baldwin closing it out. Mandarin, 14-7. It's our Whataburger game of the week. We'll take you there in a bit. Riverside over Inglewood, 59-0 running clock. Bowles over Jackson, 34-0. No surprise. Yulee, 28-zip over Fernandina Beach. We almost went up there, but Yulee figured to probably have the upper hand, and, well, they do. Buchholz over Tocoi Creek, 35-0. Columbia Ridgeview, 36-0. So some lopsided scores there. Terry Parker over Westside, 14-0. Someone trying to get their first win of the year, I believe it is, in that game. Baker County over Sewanee, 21-14. St. Augustine over Clay, 35-0. Hey, Coach, Nice over Bartram Trail, 7-0 in the third quarter, if that is correct. And that's kind of a wild one. We've had a couple of suspensions at either school, a little back and forth. And, well, Nice trying to get a win after two straight losses. Bartram's been winning the last couple of times out.
Yeah, again, district game, too, for both of them. And Nice already has one loss to Buchholz. So that's probably a must-win for them. But that's probably playing in a monsoon down there. I believe it's at Bartram in a monsoon, too.
Yeah, good point with the weather there. Oak Hall over Old Plain Christian, 7-6. West Nassau trying to keep winning, 20-13. Camden County, it was 21-7 when we came on. They made it 21-14 at half. Let's see if they can beat Lowndes at home tonight. That's a big matchup. Bradford over Newberry. We're showing you every play of that one. Glenn over South Effingham, 14-2. Statesboro over Brunswick had a good game, 20-14. Charlton County in a dogfight with Irwin County. Let's see, Fort White, big over Zarephath. Ponte Vedra and Middleburg, that's now 20-7, by the way, in favor of Ponte Vedra. Creekside up 21-0 over Atlantic Coast, not 14 anymore. Oakleaf beating First Coast, 14-0. We're going to have Committed to the Uncommitted, presented by Nimnick Buick GMC from the Oakleaf Knights tonight. Tell you that in just a bit. In Bell over Interlochen, 21-18. So we'll keep an eye on that scoreboard. Let's keep an eye on some of the games as we take a look at all the different action. Newberry and Bradford now at halftime. So we've got 4 games that we're showing you. And on the top left, it's our Whataburger game of the week. Mandarin Fletcher on a sloppy night. Mandarin up 14-7. Top right, we've got Creekside Atlantic Coast. We just told you Creekside up big and trying to finish it off in what will be a district championship game. Whoever the winner is, looks like the Knights are in control of that. Bottom right, Hawthorne and UC. Hawthorne in the first half up 28-8 at last check, and they've got the football. They're the team in the white jerseys. And bottom left, there's Middleburg and Ponte Vedra. And Middleburg just got a pick, so that's a big deal for them as they try to cut into a Ponte Vedra lead of 20-7. So there you go, catching up a little bit. Here's Middleburg right now. We take a little live action. Oh, we just got a pick on the other side, as you said it, and it could go back the other way. That is Cooper Sobiecki. Cooper Sobiecki trying to score. He gets inside the 10-yard line off the tip drill, and a nice run back. And, oh, that's going to be a huge play in that football game for the Ponte Vedra Sharks. Middleburg had got the ball back, had a chance to really make this a football game, and the tides turned just like that. And maybe a bit of a wet ball night, but also a little bit of a high pass right there, Sully.
Yeah, anytime the ball's tipped on the slant or anything towards the middle of the field is not usually good for the offensive team. So that's a really big play, really big swing of events. And if TV can put it in here, that really separates them in this game.
Yeah, that could be a tough one. All right, let's take a look at the Middleburg interception, how they got it before they gave it right back. And they got a little pressure. They're getting some pressure, but threw it up for grabs, and nice play by the DB there right on the far side. Let's see what number he's wearing. That's number 2 for Middleburg. That's Floyd Reed. Really played this one well. Watch step by step. Eyes back, go up and make a play on the ball, and he did it. But then moments later, Ponte Vedra picks it off, and that just happened in the last couple of seconds. And now Ponte Vedra trying to go in for a score, and it extend the lead, and they do. So a lot of action right here live on the Friday Night Zone Blitz with Ponte Vedra and Middleburg. And that right there is number 40, J.P. Dolan for Ponte Vedra. He gets in there, kept his feet, and now it's 26-7 in favor of the Sharks over the Middleburg Broncs. And we'll see if that's just too much to handle for Middleburg as we show it to you live on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network here on the Friday Night Zone Blitz.
Looks like they've gotten a little rain out there, but doesn't look like too much.
I was thinking the same thing, Sully. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's crazy in terms of the field conditions there, so maybe a better place to play. I'm actually looking at the Doppler right here in the studio, and it certainly does seem like most of the weather has been contained to the Jacksonville area and more toward the coast. So there you go. Look at this. Look at this. Let's see, there's Middleburg out there getting some, but not a lot. Bring an umbrella, get a sprinkle, but maybe not a downpour. We show the Doppler here on the show on the Friday Night Zone Blitz. Nice work, Brian. I go back to the weather days from Alexandria, Louisiana. Everybody wants to play weatherman, Sully.
Either that or when they make you go out during the hurricane.
That's right. We do get kind of missed that this year in a way. Not to miss the hurricanes,
Thank God.
but missed the coverage as well. Creekside trying to slam the door shut on the Atlantic Coast Stingrays. They are up 21-0 in this football game. Actually, looks like it's okay at Creekside, too, from a rain standpoint. And you mentioned Bartram Trail might have had a lot of rain down there with the 7-0 Nice score. Creekside certainly had some rain. We saw it earlier, but the field is held up, at least from our eyes, and it doesn't look too bad down there right now, but obviously we're not field level. Let's see what else we got. Don't have to worry about that at UC because they got the turf. I do wonder, I said this earlier in the show, and someone had asked me earlier in the day if any other games were canceled. It would be kind of fun to count it up. I wonder how many percentage-wise now across the area are on turf. And I know Duval County is going to get there. What is it, 17 schools that they're going to have turf fields on? But
yeah, they just finished Atlantic Coast, so they're doing Jackson and I believe First Coast maybe next year.
Yeah, it might be. And yeah, they're really trying to get those rolling. But like up Nassau County, Weber, like
Yeah, West Nassau.
West Nassau just put it in.
Put theirs in this year. That's the
no
newest
Fernandina Beach or Yulee.
No, those other ones do not.
Ponte
have
Vedra
it.
just put it in, right? Didn't they just put it in?
Yes, that sounds right.
Pretty sure. But that might be the only one in St. Johns County.
Bowles always has it. UC's had it for a while. Bradford out west has it.
Baker County doesn't.
Baker County does not.
Baldwin.
No.
Oh, well, that's a Duval. That doesn't.
All the St. Johns County is all grass.
Anybody in Clay? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. Oh, how about that? A little dive in the end zone. I tell you what, it is kind of fun to dive in the rain. This young man had a nice game against Fleming Island last week. He's a sophomore.
Davis Baldwin.
Davis Baldwin. Thanks for telling me who it was. Imagine if he went to Baldwin.
Yeah, that would be good.
Oh, I think Creekside's pretty happy they got him. They go up 27-0 now, as you can see, 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and that one is all but done for the Creekside Knights as they continue to play better football. And, Atlantic Coast has been pesky this year, Sully, at times, but couldn't hang in the second half with Creekside after being down 14-0.
Yeah, last week, remember they were in the Ed White game 21-20 and then gave up like 20 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So they play up to a certain point. It's part of building a program. Step Durham trying to continue to build that thing and get it back.
Hey, give you an update later in the fourth quarter. Reigns has taken a 27-14 lead. So it looks like they're going to get out of there. Yep. But it was 19-14 just a short time ago. Madison County, Weber giving Reigns all they can handle.
And I'm sure that's what Coach Maslin would have wanted. Short week. They played on Saturday.
Yeah.
So one less day to prepare, but a great challenge. As you see a big pickup there. Bottom left from Ponte Vedra. I think he was down before the ball came out. Let's see which way they point at the end. Yeah, pretty sure that's going to be a first down for the Sharks inside
a ref right
the 5.
there looked like DeJuan Smoot chasing Devin Lloyd the other night. He's like, that's
the
too
ref
long
was
of a
not
run.
going to catch that, man.
Yeah. I don't blame them either.
Kind of.
Boy, this thing's really opened up.
They might have called that a fumble, actually.
Did they really?
I'm trying to see which way we're pointed here.
I think
No.
I think Middleburg's playing deep.
No.
That's amazing how quick it changes. So when we came out on the air, it was halftime, 13-7. Ponte Vedra was up. They score 20-7. An interception from Middleburg. They throw it right back to Ponte Vedra. Score. And now they got the ball back and they're about to score again. And this thing's going to turn into a blowout just like that.
So Cole Rosendahl will hand it off. Small gain there for Alex Winkles. Running back for the Sharks. I'm pretty sure it might have been 22 on that big gainer, Ethan Holmes. I'd have to double check that, but
I think it was 22.
Is that like a circus stand? Is there going to be like an elephant on that at Bradford? Right? Doesn't that look like? I know it's the one we're not showing on the screen. Good job, Stuart. Because they're at halftime. The things that pique your eyes sometimes. Well, someone's going to
things that pique your eyes.
Yeah,
Clever.
no, you're right.
Like, I mean, really, nobody else
I'm
was
like
looking at
circus
that.
stand.
Yeah, it looks like.
Brian, can you show that? Maybe you get a chance.
It looks like the thing at the circus where like an elephant would stand on, right? Like it's like colored like it, you know? I don't know. Just saying. That's what it looks like
That's
to
what
me.
the guy that directs the band stands on.
Yeah, but it was in the middle of the field, Sully. It wasn't on the sideline.
Oh, they must have forgot it.
Yeah, maybe they forgot it. Well, they got it now. So that's good.
All right, you know what time it is? Time for me to go get the pizza.
All right, go get the pizza, Brent. We'll hold it down here. Oh, Jack's 30?
Yeah.
What happened to Brent 20?
Well, you get 30% off for Jack's.
Jack's 30's better. Like JAX Jack's?
Yes.
Okay, JAX 30 at Donato's. Get 30% off. Get yourself a pie. Have a good time. Which Brent will have about 3 pieces before he makes his way back into the studio, and that's okay. That's certainly okay. Welcome into the Friday Night Zone Blitz for those just joining us. Bringing you live action from all around Northeast Florida. Top left, our game of the week. Fletcher at Mandarin in a game you can watch the entirety on its own special stream on our Action Sports Jacks YouTube page. Top right, we got a kickoff there out of bounds as Creekside and Atlantic Coast, and the Knights have really taken command in that one. Bottom left, you can see Ponte Vedra has turned this thing on a dime quickly. That was a 13-7 game at the half in favor of the Sharks. So they now lead at 34-7 late in the third quarter. And then bottom right, it is University Christian trailing 28-8 against Hawthorne. Final minute of the first half in that one as UC looks to come back and make a game out of it. Get another touchdown here before the half, and you give yourself a little bit of a chance there in the second half, more so than you'd have with the 3-touchdown deficit. You see the field at Mandarin, it has certainly been a sloppy one down at the corral between these rivals from the beach, the Fletcher Senators and the Mandarin Mustangs. They move the sticks. That's a first down run for Mandarin. Let's jump into the live audio here and listen to Noah Schlicksup and Brody McGuff on the call for our Action Sports Jacks 24/7 Whataburger Jaguars Prep Game of the Week.
Looking for that left edge, and a nice tackle made coming off of a block to bring him down. That was Lewis Stewart, the linebacker.
Yeah, good tackle by him, making sure the Mandarin running back doesn't get outside. Hold that gain to a minimal. I don't really think they got a yard out of it.
They say he did get 1. 2nd and 9. Play action. Looking for right. He slipped. And that goes incomplete.
For Bryson Wright, incomplete.
Looked like a slip there by Bryson Wright. By the way, if you didn't catch the Blitz breakdown on Wednesday, Noah had a chance to sit down with Bryson and chat about his season so far. The sensational sophomore, number 1 ranked player in the class of 2028 nationally. So highest ranked sophomore in the nation. And he's right here in Jacksonville playing for the Mandarin Mustangs. I believe we have a replay we could show you. We mentioned the Ponte Sharks out to a 34-7 lead. And let's take a look at how it happened. It's Cole Rosendahl finding David Doherty in the back of the end zone for the score. And the Sharks starting to pull away down in the Berg. As you see Rosendahl find his target wide open behind the defense. Back to live action. We got the 4-box, and it looks like we got a touchdown as Stewart takes you to a replay at the wrong time. Mandarin Mustangs finding the end zone with Will Jones.
I don't know how he's getting a good grip of it, but he is
able to score there.
He's throwing it right there. That's a really good ball.
Again, this game of the week you can watch in its entirety on our Action Sports Jacks YouTube page. And Sully, you got to expect as this one goes along, Mandarin going to continue to try and impose its will, and they just have so many talented guys that they can go to as they find Will Jones for the touchdown there. And now here it's Bryson Wright. He's going to throw it, and he's going to find Shanquez Foster for the 2-point conversion. So, you know, Bryson Wright, I feel like he's got a bingo card of everything you can do on a football field, right?
Yeah, without a doubt. And Mandarin's really running the ball really well and sprinkling a little passing. But you got to give credit to the offensive line being able to lean on Fletcher. Fletcher's usually pretty good defensively against the run, but they've been imposing their.
And I think, you know, Ciatric Faison, the head coach over at Fletcher, certainly knew that the weather was going to be an impact. I was looking at his tweets earlier in the day. He's like, oh, there's going to be some rain out there. I feel like he was excited as a former running back to be able to get out there and know it was going to be a little sloppy, a little messy tonight.
Yeah, most definitely. And, again, they've just got to keep trying to get things going and keep trying to get playing to get something positive to happen here in the fourth quarter.
That touchdown and 2-point conversion made it 22-7 Mandarin, so Fletcher going to need an answer. Bottom right, University Christian driving. And let's see what UC has. Oh, trying to escape, can't do it. Ball comes out at the end. Looks like they're going to say he was either down or threw it. I'm not sure what they were thinking there, but regardless, they're going to say he was in the grasp and down. As you see top right, I believe that's a turnover as Creekside takes the ball away from Atlantic Coast. Stingrays had been moving it, but the Knights take it away. That's number 21, Kyle Payton. And look, he's got the belt. Oh, I love the sideline celebrations.
Yeah, I like it when all the other kids are fired up for the guy. You know what I mean? The guy that makes the turnover. But look at them all. They're all fired up about it.
Yeah, looking at the roster, that's a senior defensive back, so a guy who's probably been around the program for 4 years and has certainly paid his dues playing for the Creekside Knights. As you see, bottom left, Middleburg trying to run the rock. Top right, Creekside with a chance to put this thing away as they continue to build their lead over Atlantic Coast. And we got a replay for you. Let's go ahead and check it out. From the corral, Fletcher, Mandarin. And here's Knox Annis. Drops back and fires a bullet. And wow, well done there by Will Jones. Kind of falling backwards into the end zone as you take another look at it. And Knox Annis, you know, it helps when you got a guy like Bryson Wright and Tion Weich and, you know, these different weapons to work with. But he is certainly done a great job here in his sophomore campaign, Sully. Remember last year, he just kind of got thrown into the fire with the Tramell Jones injury and had to play as a true freshman. But now as he continues to grow as a leader on that team, he gets to kind of make it his offense. And like I mentioned, he's got lots of guys to do it with.
Yeah, he's got lots of guys to throw the ball to, and he really has good command. You know, last year he's just learning everything. The game moves a little faster from middle school to high school, and then this year it's probably slowed down a little bit for him, but that was an excellent ball right there, especially a wet, heavy ball. Nice throw, right on the money. Really nice job.
If you're watching that bottom right, you saw it go through the hands of a Hawthorne defender and University Christian scoring. It's Amari Mack with 8 seconds to go in the half. He pulls that in from Ty Keister. What a play for UC. Remember, they were down 28-8 and just about to go into the locker room for halftime. And what a touchdown that is for UC. A little fortuitous, but you know what? You'll take it, Sully.
Yeah, I believe that might have been the backup quarterback, too, because I believe the other guy got hurt on that sack. So that's a really good job coming in and just probably not throwing the ball all day for the first 2 quarters. He comes in, throws a nice ball right there.
Yeah, it had been Khalil Thompson before that. I did notice they switched from 0 to 10, and Ty Keister came in. I know he's played quite a bit earlier in the year, so he's got some experience. But like you said, coming in off the bench and coming through with a big play there for University Christian. They score, get the extra point, and it is 28-15. That will likely be your score as they head to half. Bottom left, Middleburg Broncos looking back to the sideline, or back towards our camera, however you want to look at it. They are inside the 10-yard line, looking to cut into the Ponte Vedra lead. Here's the handoff for Middleburg and into the end zone. A little contact at the end, but Braden Ventura absorbs it, and he'll find 6 points for the home team as Middleburg gets back into the end zone. Their first score in the second half after trailing just 13-7 at the break. So Middleburg finally able to kind of reverse their fortune a little bit and getting it. A score here in the second half.
That should make it 34-14, right?
I believe that is correct with that PAT pending. Top middle, you've got the second half just beginning out in Stark as Bradford leads Newberry, their 2024 nemesis, 7-0. And Newberry, the Panthers, will start with the ball in the second half. So that is one to watch out in Stark.
That's going to take us till midnight.
Yeah, that one's going to go a while, I think. See Creekside up 28-0, a minute 50 to go, so that one is pretty much in the books as they get an interception there. We got the second half starting for Newberry. And no, I think he ran into his own guy. So Brent, you said you got a number of highlights from your game here this evening, right?
Oh, I do.
I did not.
Oh, you did not?
I had to wait until the literal last play of the half to get any points.
That's you're having a bad run right now.
I'm having a bad couple days.
Yeah.
It happened yesterday as well. It happened again today.
I actually could have left so quick, but I felt bad for leaving.
Because it was like 7 minutes into the game?
No, it was not even. It was really? 21-0 after 5 minutes into the game. Oh, no. But at 3 minutes into the game, it was 14-0. It was kickoff, return, touchdown, fumble, kickoff, return, recovered, touchdown. So I could have been out.
Well, my game was 0-0 with 1 second to go in the first half. And then the visiting team that I care nothing about scores a touchdown.
A lot of people do.
No, it's St. Pete. They're not watching. Come on. Sorry, St. Pete.
You're right, Sully, 34-14. I can't update you on the Donato's pizza. Very hot. A lot of pepperoni today, too, which is really good on the pepperoni pizza.
The pepperoni?
Yeah, well, I think
looks like you got a spot on your shirt.
I was looking at that.
You got to check. You always got to check.
I actually was thinking, I was like, this has got to happen someday that I'm going to have hold on, quick change. What happened, Brent? Oh, yeah, well, I spilled it all over me in my haste to get a couple of slices. But there we go with Atlantic Coast up in the top. Well, where are they here? The bottom left for that's going to close things out. Now can Fletcher come back is really the key for the Senators as they go deep on the top left, and that one is a penalty flag. Hard to come back on a night like tonight, Sully.
Yeah, especially being behind and having to throw it like that. Yeah, not a great field you're playing on. The rain looks like it sort of stopped, but it's going to be sloshy and down 2 scores is not good in a game like this.
All right, let me give you an update on some of the scores as well as I can do that probably. We got the Reigns Vikings 27-14. That was 19-14. They had a touchdown, so probably going to win that game. Baldwin, I was at that when they pull away. Bowles up big. Yulee up big. Creekside up big. Nice is out of the field goal, so it's now 10-0. Columbia up big. Baker County, Sewanee. That's a nice football game out there in Baker County. McClenny tonight. West Nassau up by a touchdown. We're showing you Mandarin. Terry Parker trying to get a win for the first time this year. Statesboro and Brunswick's a nice football game right now as well as you continue to look around. Ponte Vedra's 34-14. We can update that because we've been showing it to you. Buell's over Tokoi and Camden County at half. Can they come back? That'd be a heck of a win if Camden County can do it. They were down 21-7. Now it's 21-14, and we're showing you Bradford and Newberry as well. Oakleaf up 14-0. I'm not sure if that score has been updated or not. And there you see St. Augustine 56-7. And Rains just got updated to 27-14, the final. So Rains stays undefeated. St. Augustine looks good again tonight. Maybe we'll talk to some of the coaches from those schools as we continue to show some of the games around the area here tonight on our Friday night Zone Blitz. Brent Martineau, Stuart Weber, Kevin Sullivan, our Hall of Fame coach. And week 8, middle of October of the high school football season. Everything now starts to be on the line for all these teams, Sully, districts and playoff chances and playing your best football, health, all these different factors as you get to the middle of October, right?
Oh, yeah, most definitely, especially, most of them are in there, even though it's week 8, most of them have had a bye week, so they've played 7 games. And so the districts start to align, the champions start getting aligned, and then everybody start playing for those at-large spots.
Fletcher trying to mount a comeback. Mandarin able to get the good defensive play. We just saw good defensive play by Middleburg as well as they continue to play hard, down 20 points. They need the football back. Newberry and Bradford going at it in the second half of a one-score game, 7-0. Well, it's hurrying up there at Newberry like it's the end of the game. It's not. Probably just trying to keep Bradford on their toes and get a score if they could. Oh, we got a highlight. Let's go to Creekside and Atlantic Coast. Obviously, AC trying to make something happen out of their own end, and that thing is picked off and returned for a touchdown. Harris Oliver, you had him earlier on the show, and well, you got him again. Dancing around in the puddles after a pick six and a score helps put the game away for the Creekside Knights as they continue to play better football. And basically a district championship game there against Atlantic Coast. So it's going to be a nice win for the Knights.
And they're locked in?
Yeah, not surprised.
Yeah, go ahead, Sully.
Yeah, I was going to say not surprised. They've really been playing well. And, again, we talked about how young they are, the sophomore running back, sophomore quarterback. And they've sort of the last couple of weeks really been scoring some points the last 2 or 3, 4 weeks.
Yeah, I haven't looked. Maybe I should look. I wonder what they have left here. But just for housekeeping purposes for the high school football season, we're in week 8 right now. You got some of these districts already being determined. And then next week, and by the way, next week we will not have a Friday night zone blitz. We'll have our Whataburger game of the week, but we won't have our zone blitz because we'll be in London. So we'll be a little light on the resources. So we will take a week off next Friday and then pick it right back up the week following. But obviously you got week 9, week 10, Week 11 of the high school football season includes 2-night affair with Thursday, Friday with Florida, Georgia. You got a long October with 5 weeks in October. And then November 7th right now is penciled in as a bye week. We'll probably get some Georgia playoff action, SSAA playoff action. But we might even get some action depending on the weather. They could use that bye week. And then the playoffs begin November 14th. So, I mean, you're literally now a month away from the postseason. And starting to chase for a state championship. And quite frankly, we don't know how good our teams are for a state championship. We think Rains is going to be a major factor. We think St. Augustine and Bowles have a chance to be a major factor. And maybe Mandarin could be a major factor as they pick it off. And who is number 7, Stuart Weber?
That'd be Tamaj Mitchell.
Well, thank you, Noah.
Noah's got
and
it too.
Stuart.
Yeah. We both have rosters.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Hey, Brent. So Creekside goes Rains and PV.
Okay, so the Rains one is probably a don't get hurt game.
Right.
And Ponte Vedra's a big game. That's been some really good battles over the last couple of years.
The thing about Creekside, though, is that you're in. You know, you win a district championship, you're already in as you see another touchdown there. This one for Atlantic Coast. So
get on the board.
Stingrays get on the board. A little consolation. But yeah, for Creekside, to use a a NASCAR analogy, because I like to do that. It's like when you win the Daytona 500, you're automatically locked into the playoffs because a win gets you in. Well, you win your district, you can already kind of start to plan a little bit. Now, you want to keep winning so that you're a higher seed and you can kind of control your own destiny a little bit, have a better chance to host a playoff game. Even though you won your district, you're not guaranteed to host a playoff game. And in the scenario where you have to face a higher ranked district champion. So like if you're the 7th seed in the region out of 8 and you play the 2 seed and they also won their district, well, you're going on the road. It's kind of random. It's I know some people would prefer that the 4 district champs get to host the playoff games. Sully, where do you kind of lie on that one?
Well, I think the 4 champions should host regardless.
Yeah.
That's me. I mean, the reason they got away from it because the 4th seed district champion would always play in the 5th, and the first couple of years, I think the 4th won like one time. So they're like, well, we might as well just reseed them and not even worry about it. But I think they should at least host. You get something for winning the district championship.
Kwame Green, by the way, is the young man from Atlantic Coast that closed that game out. You saw the handshake line, so that game is over. Creekside wins the district championship there. You're keeping an eye right here on Bradford and Newberry, a 7-0 game in favor of Bradford, but Newberry now inside the 30-yard line and threatening Mandarin. It looks like they're going to seal the deal on Fletcher. He just picked it off, up 22-7 in our Whataburger game of the week. So that's been a good one, a muddy one, weather impacting that one. But Mandarin, I heard you guys talking about it earlier. I'm pretty impressed with Mandarin here because they couldn't utilize their weapons on a day like today like they want to. Now, keep in mind, Fletcher, I think, has some fantastic wideouts too. So they can throw the football. And they weren't able to probably as much as they want to either. But to be able to grind it out and run the football the way they did, I bet Toby Bullock's going to be pretty pleased with this win if they can hang on.
Well, defensively, they played really well, especially their front guys. They kept the pressure on, forced them to throw the ball in the air. And, a running game and good defense is not a bad way to win.
And, they were a little undisciplined, a lot of flags, but they were also down 7-0. So they took a little bit of a punch in a rivalry kind of game and answered the bell by coming back, at least to this point, 22-7. Game's not over, but certainly Mandarin looks like they are in good shape. It's interesting on a sloppy night, too, Sully. You probably never feel comfortable because that ball is pretty slippery.
That is a true statement.
I think I've asked you this in the past. Do you remember one? Like when you get nights like tonight, you remember just
how miserable you are standing on the sideline? Yes, I remember those.
You remember one in particular where it's like, just why are we out here?
I remember we played at Ed White one year, and I went out like in the middle of the first quarter at a timeout and stepped in a hole and lost my shoe in the mud. And I literally took my shoes off and coached it barefoot that night.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Love that.
Well, looking ahead with Mandarin, we've got, I think they've got the bye week next week, and then they go Oakley, which probably district championship, and then finish with St. Augustine.
Oh yeah, good one. That's those are a couple good fun games. Do we have that one? No, we don't have Mandarin. This is our Mandarin one.
Yeah, this is obviously. The
Mandarin game. And so Oakleaf and Mandarin could be good. It will be big because of the district championship. And then that St. Aug one should be pretty fun as well. St. Aug cruises over Clay tonight and stays undefeated. And I started to say that a little bit ago. You look at the teams that could really contend right now, we believe.
Better throw St. Augustine in there.
Rains, St. Aug, Bowles.
56-7, they beat Clay tonight.
Yeah, and they've been able to take a little bit of a breath, I think it is, the last couple of weeks after just running that gauntlet of games of Nice and Bowles and whoever else. So I think those three teams, I think Mandarin seems to me like they're a little bit on the outskirts of that conversation. But remember, it was just a couple of years ago they made that run, had to go on the road for all those games. And so they've got the potential to get there. They've got a little bit of pedigree to be able to get there. They know how to do it. And that was a fun run a couple of years ago for those Mandarin Mustangs. I think that was led by Tion Weich. Yep. In fact, now Tion Weich, part of this football team. So And then there's Bradford, too, we're watching against Newberry as they throw the football, and a nice throw by the left-hander. And now Bradford has flipped the tables here, and they have a chance to get a score and already up 7-0. You go up 14-0, that Bradford defense, you might as well turn out the lights or at least throw up some fireworks out there in Bradford because it could be over. But Bradford has been able to make a run the last few years, too, Coach. Maybe they've got the goods to do it again this year.
Yeah, I remember last year they lost to Newberry, and then they had to play them in the second round and lost them again. So we may be getting this game in a few weeks down the road also.
Yeah, that could happen. When you have that potential, how important is the first one?
Well, I think the first one gives you the district championship. So usually if you beat them head-to-head, if you play them again, you should play them at home. Based on strength of schedule and those things. And I believe last year they went to Newberry both times. So this would be a big win for Bradford, knowing that down the road they're going to get them again at home.
Yeah, and so it's interesting because there's so much on the line in the first one to potentially, get that district. It's not like you can hide anything, right?
Right. And also people say, well, it's harder to beat people twice. And I disagree with that. I mean, you're used to, if you've beaten them once, your kids already know, okay, we beat them once. We're going in. We know we can beat these guys. We just got to play our game, so on and so forth.
Wow, how about that pick in the Fletcher game right there? Intercepts Mandarin. I thought for a second he was going to go, but there was a tackle. Let's see if there are any flags down. I think Fletcher now has the football. So, hey, we're not done yet in that game. Not sure exactly how much time is left in that game, but Fletcher's got to go here. And they get a big turnover, and we'll have the football on the right side of the field, meaning the Mandarin side of the field. 7-0 here. Bradford and Newberry, the game we were just talking about, and Bradford trying to avenge a couple of losses a season ago. Right now going in a good direction, up 7-0 over the Newberry Panthers, and trying to really separate this game here on a Friday night in week number 8. There's Fletcher up at the top. We'll see if they can make anything happen. They do. Big run.
He could go down inside the 10. Fletcher is alive.
Yes, they are.
No, making it close.
Yeah, they're making it close. Let's listen to Brody and Noah for a little bit of this one, as you can also catch it live on YouTube, just that game, and on Action News Jax now. But listen in for a few minutes here.
And right there, good run by Williams.
Whistle being blown now.
Eagles view scores 13 in the second
spot
half to
of
win
the ball.
13-6. Coach is texting me. I said it's my fault.
13.
Oh, fireworks.
1st and 10. And it went from a basically guaranteed Mandarin win to now Fletcher's got a chance. Because Mandarin did the one thing they could not do in that situation.
Hand off to Jamez Williams.
2nd down and 6. 4:53 to go. James, trouble with the snap, and that's killer. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Got it. You know what I'm very confused about is, Fletcher loves to run some receiver screens, and have we seen one tonight?
No.
And this is a perfect game to do it. You don't want to throw it deep. I get it. Like, the rain conditions, the wet conditions, you don't want to throw it deep. Throw the screen to your receiver seat. Get your playmakers in space.
Neither of these teams have really had an intermediate or short passing game. Everything's been a shot.
Yeah. Scratch my head more.
Low snap, ball on the ground. James falls on it. And now this will be game.
Quarterback falls on it.
4th down and 14. Fletcher needs a conversion. And I'm looking for number 1 or number 0.
If number 0 is on an island, I am throwing a fade to him.
6'2", 205. 8 touchdowns this season.
He's way taller than the corner on him. You got to throw it to the bottom here.
He's one-on-one. That's where they go. Jones. Incomplete. Pass interference.
Wow. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. First off, it was not a good ball, but that's what happens when you underthrow balls. It can turn a play that's completely covered into a PI, but I don't think there was anything there. Oh, my gosh. I can't get enough of that one.
It'll still be forked down, though. Half the distance to the goal. And it'll now be 4th and 5.
You'll get a first down for PI?
I thought he did, but he signaled 4th down. Now he's putting up one finger. Where's our rules analyst at?
Oh, my gosh. Give us some leading, man. Is it 4th down?
Yeah, that's what the chain gang says. Now Mandarin just jumped.
What is going on? What was the call? What was the flag? Are they calling holding on the defense?
Never get a first down in high school automatically is the word. Thank you to our rules analyst, Brent Martineau. It'll be 4th and 1 now. Now you run the ball, I think.
Yeah, I'd put not Cruz. I'd put Jones back there, the number 0. Do that wildcat formation he did earlier.
3:27 to go. 22-7. Fletcher goes under center with James. James goes with the sneak. I don't know if he got it. It all comes down to the spot. It's going to be close. Brody, what did you see?
I'm just confused of the QB sneak. That looked like a long yard to me. And also, the QB can't really churn his feet with all that mud down there. They going to measure it? I really think you got to go with a wildcat formation with Jones, man. Give him a head start. It's a big, powerful receiver. It looked like he just fell. I didn't think he got it from up here, but I can't see that well.
I don't know. All comes down to this. First down!
Wow.
That would have been by a thread. 3:21 to go.
Mandarin fans not happy about that one.
Mandarin players not happy.
This has just been wonky.
That is the perfect way to describe it, Brody.
I don't know what's going on, but it's first goal for the Fletcher Senators.
They're making it interesting. That's what's going on.
Go Wildcat.
That's what they do. Jones is right there. He's next to the quarterback. Snap goes to Jones. He runs into his own quarterback. Now finds the edge, and it is a touchdown. What is going on?
Touchdown.
3:01 to go. And Fletcher's still alive.
You know, I mean.
All right, so that is Noah Schlicksup and Brody McGuff, and there's some wacky, wonky stuff going on in that football game. Hey, that's why we do this on Friday nights. I mean, that last 7 or 8 minutes, Coach, that's why you're here in the booth with us now.
Exactly. Like, why are we throwing the ball right there? Get it an interception, let them back in the game.
I was thinking, they couldn't get the snap, right? The ball, second down, third down, the ball hits the ground, and then fourth down, they get a little bailed out. And that is normal. It is a weird thing because in college and NFL, extra point now, and that's no good. So that was 22-13. Like, that's huge right there. that's game over because they couldn't get the extra point. So if they could have made it 22-14, I don't know.
Yeah.
You go for 2 there, Sully? I mean, because you can't handle a snap right now. The field's so bad.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a pretty good kicker, and they probably practice that in the weather. So I would probably have kicked it if I had a good kicker.
Yeah. I mean, you do need a kick and a 2-pointer, but now it's kind of a bummer there. We probably would have second-guessed that one either way. But as I started to say, NFL and college, it's automatic first down. And obviously in NFL, it's a spot foul, which is kind of crazy sometimes for interference or even holding is a first down. In high school football, I mean, is there any penalty that gives you an automatic first down? Is it like a unnecessary roughness maybe? Is that the only one, or they always count off the distance?
I believe that's the only one. Defensive holding isn't an automatic first down.
Yeah, and neither is interference, right? If it's like 2nd and 20.
Yeah, you only gained a 15.
Yeah, you gain what you gain. So, and in this instance right there, the reason why it was half the distance to the goal line because of where they were. So that's why it ended up being another down. And then Mandarin jumped off sides to make it a 4th and 1. And then I think Brody was right. It's a hard day to do a quarterback sneak, isn't it?
Yeah. Getting up underneath the center with the ball.
Yeah.
Especially they're not used to getting underneath the center. They're always in the gun.
Yeah, well, not only that, you have no leverage with your spikes. You're slipping.
And off number 25, straight up the middle.
So
yeah, good point.
Yeah, that was a that whole sequence was pretty wild. At the end of the day, it looks like Mandarin's going to escape 22-13 in what was kind of a fun football game with a little drama in our Whataburger game of the week. That got going a little bit later today. Fletcher was a little late arriving, probably some traffic with all the weather going on, and it's kicked off about 6:45 tonight. Was scheduled for 6:30, so that one is closing up. Meanwhile, we've got you over at UC right now, Hawthorne and University Christian in the second half. Hawthorne has been in control of this game most of the way. I got some I think I want to just listen to the fans here, but I don't know if that's a safe thing to do. They're into it there at UC as Hawthorne in white has a chance to kind of punch it in again. And let's see. Great place to watch a game, by the way, over there at UC. As hey, the fans are getting their money's worth. Get those umbrellas. Hey, let's nudge that Steelers fan. The Jags umbrella for them. But a great spot to see a game, play a game. And you can see the rain coming down as Hawthorne is in control and trying to get more control of this game. But UC continues to battle.
No mud on that field.
Nah, no mud on that field. Look, I like top right. You can really see the guy with the poncho. That
wind
was just blowing
yeah.
the poncho.
It's coming in cheap.
Now it's starting to come down in Bradford. Mike Burge probably helped us out there. They've seen that Doppler. Maybe Bradford's starting to get it a lot because it's starting to look bad out there in Bradford as well. But just depends on what day it is. Or what time it is where that rain is raining the hardest right now. Top left, Fletcher was celebrating again as they tried to make a late game rally, but I don't think they're going to be able to do it. There's a couple minutes to go, down by 9, Mandarin with the football. So tough, tall task for those guys to do that. We see it's 4th down, Hawthorne and University Christian now, and Hawthorne calls a timeout. Here's Bradford with the ball, and a nice run here by Bradford as well as they get inside the 25-yard line, and that is Ian Addison, the junior running back for the Bradford Tornadoes. They go hurry up. We've seen both teams really hurry to the line of scrimmage in this game. This has just been kind of a run the ball between the 20s. Maybe get a little action, but getting in has been difficult. I think it's still 7-0 in that football game, unless I missed something. Final score, by the way, Baldwin beat Wolfson 41-13. Bowles over Andrew Jackson 48-0. Bishop Kenny beats Menendez 42-0. Nice holds on to beat Bartram 10-0. Sully, that's a nice win for Nice and a nice win, by the way, for Bishop Kenny on the road. Menendez had been doing some nice things.
Yeah, that's a good win for Bishop Kenny, and they'll finish up now, I believe, Parker next, so they should win the district.
Parker, by the way, chasing its first win of the season tonight. And they were up in that game 14-0. Buchholz ends up beating Tolkoi Creek 42-7. Columbia with a nice win over Ridgeview. Trinity Christian was winning big against Episcopal tonight. And St. Augustine gets the win, big 56-7. So a couple other scores that are rolling in, and we'll keep an eye on the entire scoreboard. Of course, coming up on the Friday night Blitz, 10:30 on, well, it's not on Fox 30. It's going to be right here on the stream. Will be delayed on Fox 30 tonight because of whatever we've got playing right now.
Whatever game's going to be running on late.
I don't know if it's volleyball, football, baseball, whatever. It's one of them. And did Bradford just score? I think they did because we've got some fireworks.
Yeah, they just scored a pass.
All right. Bradford's putting that game away. It's going to be a nice win for the Bradford Tornadoes and Jamie Rogers, isn't it?
Yeah, that's going to make them feel good. I believe it locks them up on the district championship.
So good win looking that way for Bradford tonight. And UC, by the way, stopped Hawthorne. So now UC's got it deep in their own end. They got to watch out for a safety. 21-0 now in favor of Bradford. So yeah,
I think he just called it. Oh, he got out.
Yeah, he got out of there. Boy, the Fletcher game won't ever end. Fletcher's got the ball back, and which was huge because if they did kick that extra point, this would be a very meaningful drive right now. But now that it's a 9-point game, a little less meaningful because time's going to run out on the Fletcher Senators before they could pull a miracle comeback. Now watch out for the safety if you're University Christian. They do. They get the ball out of there by the 7 or 8 yard line, give them a little breathing room. I think it will bring up a third down or might force a punt, one of the two. But it was a big stop, at least preventing Hawthorne from scoring. I don't think we have anything crazy going on right now. Let's hang just another play for Fletcher. That thing's got to be wrapping up here soon. See if anything exciting on the top left of the screen. Bradford up 21-0 on the top right of your screen. And let's see Fletcher as they try to
now
pull off a miracle. Instead, they call
Fletcher.
a timeout. All right, so let's do this. Let's call a timeout as well. We will call a timeout here on the Friday Night Zone Blitz. Brent Martineau, Stuart Weber, Kevin Sullivan, and the Action Sports Shacks team as UC just sacked inside their own 10-yard line as well. We'll take you up until 10 o'clock in this studio. We go over to the network studio after that, but if there's any play-by-play still going on, and there could be in the UC game because that thing got going late, Bradford as well, we'll show you all the action from those games. 10:30 Friday Night Blitz, 11 o'clock Bands of the Week, 11:15 Friday Night Blitz, and then we'll put a bow on the show, take you up until midnight. So there's still a lot to come here on this Friday evening, week 8, sloppy, wet, windy, but also at least the temperatures weren't so bad out there at all. Kind of felt like football weather in some areas if you didn't get poured on. We'll be right back. When it's time to get a new car for anyone in your family, just remember, nobody but Nimnick, the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Get the latest price breaks on 2023 and 2024 models or the newest 2025 vehicles in the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com 24 hours a day. GMC Sierras, Yukons, and the redesigned Acadias, or get the all-new redesigned line with Buicks. It's nobody but Nimnick, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnick Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road, and also helping you and your family down the road. Nimnick has a treating you right guarantee. Courtesy, respect, fairness. And most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. Who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnick. GMC. We are professional grade.
If you need a quality play this football season at your home, call That One Painter First Coast. Locally owned and operated, experienced employees, no builder-grade materials. And there's more, and for that, we throw it to Noah Schlicksup. That One Painter First Coast can apparently help your kicking game, too.
Well, after my failure on skinny sticks last year on Creekside game day, I've spent a lot of time out here at Creekside practicing my kicks. There's only one issue. How is that even possible? The good news is I know exactly who can help. That One Painter can handle all your painting needs, from field goal posts to cabinets to stucco. They got you covered. Though they may not be able to help with my kicking, they can certainly help with the posts. Call That One Painter First Coast today for all your painting needs at 904-495-1373.
If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. When you hear that, you think Bono's Pit Barbecue, a staple in Northeast Florida now for 75 years. A place that feels like home with friendly service, a meeting place for friends, family, or business occasions. On the menu, the corn nuggets are a favorite in our house, but there's something for everyone. Sandwiches, platters, salads, sides, desserts, and family feasts. You see Bono's all over the place in Northeast Florida. You know, there are almost 20 locations in the Jacksonville area now, so stop on by, sit down, and dine in with Bono's. You can also take it to go. There are drive-thrus in many of the locations, and they have delivery options too. Just download the Bono's app to make things easy. I signed up for the loyalty program, and you can too, to get special offers. If Jacksonville is home, few things feel more Jacksonville than Bono's Pit Barbecue. Celebrate 75 years and many more to come. Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. Oh, we're keeping an eye on 3 games here. Crazy enough, it doesn't seem like you missed a play in the Fletcher Mandarin game. I don't know what they were doing for the last little bit. Nice little play by Newberry, but they're down 21-0 on the top right. That Mandarin-Fletcher game now, I think, is over. It's time for some handshakes. Mandarin wins it 22-13. Bottom part of your screen there, or this one right here, is UC Hawthorne. UC just gave it back to Hawthorne, so Hawthorne has another chance to get in there. Give you a score update, and Kevin Sullivan's with us here as well in the Friday Night Zone Blitz. Baker County beats Sewanee 28-21 in overtime, Coach. That's a nice win for the Wildcats.
That's a big win for them.
Yeah, big win for the Cats. So we will keep you posted on some of the scores going. All right, Sully, let's get to our Committed to the Uncommitted, presented by Nimnick Buick GMC. Of course, our scholarship program. You can nominate a senior under-recruited player. And we want to highlight tonight this young man from Oakleaf High School. And, it's Jake McKissick from Oakleaf, 6'2", 200 pounds. He's having a nice season, Sully. 12 touchdowns, 4 picks from the QB position, 3.8 GPA. Jack McKissick is our committed to the uncommitted. I think I said Jake. Jack McKissick, our committed to the uncommitted. What do you like about him?
Well, the thing about him now, he's in the system, a second-year starter in the system, and he's got a bunch of guys to throw to. And he really just sort of runs the offense, takes care of the ball, doesn't turn it over a lot. Throws, as you see right there, throws a nice ball in the corner of the end zone. Just has a good grasp, a really good player. I think he's got an opportunity. I talked to Coach Horn, the offensive coordinator out there, and he said that he thought he had an offer last summer, but pretty much has fallen through, and so he's wide open. Come get him, coaches. Come get him.
Yeah, no doubt. And by the way, he's played some big games and had some big wins a year ago. He was excellent in some of their victories for Oakleaf. Obviously has been again tonight. 6'2" as well, like some decent size. Used to be like, oh, well, maybe he's a little bit undersized if he's not 6'3". Right. That ain't the deal anymore, right?
No, I mean, he's 6'2", 200 pounds. He's only going to put on a little bit more muscle and everything like that. But he has such a good feel for what they're doing offensively. You know, he's not afraid to take off and run it, and really does a nice job.
So Jack McKissick are committed to the uncommitted, presented by Nimnick Buick GMC. Again, if you have under-recruited seniors, we want seniors. We've got a few more weeks to go, and we highlight a young man each and every week on the show. Hopefully get a little exposure for him and coaches, and maybe Sully pushes it out there as we tag him on social media and some of the contacts around. But also, at the end of the day, a scholarship program for $2,500 as well. We've been doing this for a few years now, but we really need your help. We can go find folks, too, but send them in. Flood the inbox, if you will, sports@actionnewsjacks.com, or look Sully or me up. And coaches, this is a little bit on you, but parents as well, or teammates, if you know somebody that's really looking for a place to play and under-recruited, we'd just like to highlight them. And again, at the very least, we'll see where they end up. It's a tough thing to get to college these days at times because of the transfer portal and everything else. But these guys want to keep playing. We'd love to see them get somewhere. And at the very least, put your name in the hat for a scholarship. We've had some success with the program, and it's always good to see kids move on to that next level at all divisions and everywhere. So that's the other thing. If you got 5 offers you're picking from, that's a different story. These are guys that we feel are, or you might feel, are under-recruited. Speaking of that, Sully, that whole recruiting period has changed now. What's the impact, do you think, of this new one recruiting period in the college game coming up, and some of the changes that are going on in the NCAA?
Well, I think the transfer portal window, the way they're doing it, they're only going to have one window, which will give them enough time once the sort of basically December ends, and then they'll be from, I believe it's the 2nd of January to the 16th of January.
Yep.
So that's going to be the 2 weeks in there that they can transfer and still get time to enroll. And I believe that's good instead of having the 2, because we were having a lot of kids leaving their schools when their school was making the bowl game. And so now we probably won't have as much of that as it goes on.
Yeah, there's another part of this. It's like really a lot on the coaches. Not that I feel bad for the big Division I coaches scooping up all the talent, but it is hard on the coaches around that time when you're getting ready for a bowl game, championship season, all those other things. I think so that transfer portal, now you get that one window. You still have do you like the early recruiting period? Early signing
You mean for
period?
high school?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always liked the early period, because when they used to do it, most of the guys would get signed in December, and then all the FCSs or the lower tier ones, now they could come in January and really get off and get on some guys that they may not have a chance to get. So I've always liked the high school early period.
Yeah, and again, that changed, a whiles back now, but that transfer portal has become a big part of it too, and that's the
too much
part. Yeah, too much. The 2nd to the 16th now in January, we'll see. And again, that's one big domino. That's what we're really getting at here. The domino effect of how we got onto our committed to the uncommitted is, the transfer portal is wildly used in high school. Kids in all sports are less recruited than ever before because of it. But that domino effect means there's opportunities at other areas too. You just got to find them. And sometimes you got to look a little hard. And sometimes coaches got to look harder too, but we try to make it a little easier with that committed to the uncommitted. Look at that rain coming down at UC right now. Golly.
That's wild.
There's a lot of rain. Field conditions you don't have to worry about because you got the turf. On both of these places, we're showing Newberry and Bradford on the left side of your screen, UC and Hawthorne on the right side of your screen. I think, is that Cush, I think, is at our UC game. And, man, I hope he's staying dry. Steal that Steelers umbrella. There you go.
Cush is a vet. He's going to be his rain gear, or he's worked his way into the press box. He's got his umbrella right there. He just showed it to you.
Yeah, and Coach will do is when he gets a chance, he could maybe give us an update on the score, because I have totally lost track of that game. I have no idea what the score is. Unfortunately, it's all the way on the other end. Sorry, Coach. Thank you. 28-15, late third quarter. So, man, Sully, you see hanging around in this game. It was 22-0 in the first quarter, 28-8 in the first quarter. And we've seen Hawthorne down here twice now in the last 10, 15 minutes. But if UC can hold them out of there, they still got a chance in this game.
Yeah, Hawthorne's got to work on the short yardage offense. They've been down here about 10 plays.
Yeah, they've been down here a bunch. They actually got a flag in the end zone just a moment ago. We were talking about committed to the uncommitted, and that's, I think, gave them at least where they've got it now, and I don't think a new set of downs. But look at that rain coming. Holy cow.
That's wild, man. I'm telling you what, it's no fun being on the sideline playing in that game.
Yeah. And
the kids that are in the game really doesn't affect them as much as besides the ball, but the coaches on the sideline, miserable.
It's just miserable. Parents, cameramen, everybody, miserable. Let's see. Gonna get a little bonus pay today for Cush, I guess, because of all the rain. Hopefully,
get him a new umbrella.
New umbrella. Action Sports Shack's umbrella coming your way. Maybe we got a first alert one hanging around. So as we look at the 21-0, by the way, Bradford was up. I mean, they're pretty much locked that game up, and that's going to be a big win for them out there at Newberry. In fact, we'll show you a couple of the late touchdowns in just a moment. I want to see this sequence, though, at Hawthorne and University Christian to see if UC gets back into this game at all. But, of course, since it's pouring down rain, they haven't run a play in 5 minutes. I'll tell you, if I was – I don't know how you can do it. It just, I would somehow find a way to streamline high school games a little bit quicker. We actually like when they go long because of this show, but so many stoppages. All right, let's see. Can UC get there? For now, no touchdown. That was second down. That might have picked up a first down, though. Depending on where to say. I think it's second down and goal. It was. Yeah, the sticks are down.
Yeah, it was. That was third and a yard, maybe less than a yard.
Yeah, got probably a pretty friendly spot there. But third and goal, big moment, 28-15. Right now, UC in blue, they're hanging on, just hanging on. And you get down another score, it's probably over. So this is kind of a big moment for them.
Sound off for the defense.
Oh, I thought they initially stopped them, but then kept the legs churning. That was Derek Gillens there. He was a running back and a middle linebacker. He looks more like a middle linebacker than a running back sometimes, and he powered in there, Coach.
Yeah, that's a big, wide, squatty body right there now.
Yeah, he's initial contact. I thought UC did a nice job, but obviously after that, couldn't slow him down. So good guy to give it to down at the 1 yard line, and they did. And now they go on top 34-15. Probably puts that game away. It's late in the third quarter. Wouldn't think there's a lot left for UC unless they have a huge fourth quarter coming up. Bradford forces a Newberry punt. They actually blocked one of these earlier in the game. Let's take a look at Bradford and a couple of the highlights that we have earlier. It was 7-0 for the longest time, and then Bradford able to add a couple of touchdowns. The lefty quarterback, and that is Cy Cubbage to Kamate Nixon, the wide receiver, and there you see the celebration. Nice throw, bet he's a Tebow fan. Growing up as a kid, wearing that number 15, throwing it left-handed. And Cubbage able to get that. And then a little bit later, here's Cubbage again, this time with the touch. And is it the same guy? Yeah, it is. It's Kamate Nixon once again, the 6'4 senior receiver. He's a stud. And he's got 2 touchdowns here in the second half. Nice play, by the way. That ball a little underthrown. And he's able to reach out the hands and get that one. So very nice play by the Bradford senior receiver. 21-0. Plenty of fireworks for Ping, who's out there at Bradford for the first time. It's a good place to see a game. It's going to be a big win for Bradford because they lost to Newberry twice last year, once in the postseason. So big deal out there tonight, Sully, for Jamie Rogers. That was a nice play. Good little pitch and catch from QB to receiver.
Yeah, that's a big old boy, that number 9. That when they played Mandarin earlier in the year, he stood out also. But I've been throwing him the ball a few times.
A nifty little run for Bradford there as well. Before we get out of here, we got a few more minutes before we take you to the 10 o'clock. We'll shift studios. That's what we do on a Friday night, 10:30 Fox 30, Well, no, I keep saying Fox 30. It's going to be right here on the network because we're delayed on Fox 30. We'll have the Friday Night Blitz, all the highlights, reaction. So a lot of the games that we showed to you tonight, including this one, we'll get some post-game reaction. We'll have it flipped around for you in the 10:30 to 11 o'clock window, and then 11:15 to 11:35 window as well. And we'll show you all the highlights from all the different games along the way. Meanwhile, as Bradford tries to just secure a W and a big one over Newberry, we got a couple of scores here to tell you about. Baldwin wins 41-13. We'll show you the highlights of that one coming up. I was at that game early on. Baldwin's offense is averaging 37 points a game. Been very good. Sully, Baldwin's an interesting team, right? Two of their losses, one was to Baker County. They lost 52-49. And then obviously the 70-something to 48 loss to the Bowles school where Xander Edwards went for 8 touchdowns, school state record, and 522 yards. But they can really score the football.
Yeah, their 2 losses that they have, they've scored a bunch of points, and they may be an upset team and sneaking in the playoffs and be an upset team.
Yeah, again, offensively, they got some firepower on the offensive side of the ball. Hey, the Nice Panthers won 10-0 over Bartram. They got that W, and right now, Colin Drafts is on the phone with us. So hopefully Colin can hear us, kind enough to give us a
I got
buzz,
you, man. I got you.
He's probably on the way back through St. Johns County. Nice win. Defense comes up big. Was it a slop fest down there tonight at Bartram?
It was the Mud Bowl, man. It was pouring rain the whole first half, just trying to deal with the elements. But like you said, defensive slugfest, man. Hats off to our defense, our players, our coaches. Being able to get that shutout meant a lot for us. Did just enough on offense and special teams to score 10 points, but it just feels good to get the win.
Hey, what was the week like knowing that you were probably going to have to deal with weather? What's the game plan get altered? You guys love to score the ball and obviously get that high-flying offense going. How much did you have to alter things based on what the conditions were expected to be?
I probably should have altered it more because I tell you what, I was praying that weather would somehow dissipate, and it never did. We might have completed 3 passes tonight, which that's got to be a first for us. But we did just enough. Offensive line played well. Quarterback had to run the ball a little bit more than we normally do, but he had a touchdown run early on. So sometimes you just have to grind out those wins, and it doesn't matter if you win 2-0 or 50-49. That's a district win against the county rival and a big-time win for us. 2 years in a row, 2 wins over Bartram now.
Yeah, absolutely. Kevin Sullivan's with us, Coach. I don't know if you guys can hear each other. Sully, you got a question for Colin Drafts?
Coach Drafts, you got a lot of distractions. You had played 2 pretty good tough teams and came on the losing on both sides. Hello? Tell us about the preparation coming into this week, coming off the open week.
Can you hear him at all, Colin?
No, I can't hear him. I can only hear you.
Okay, yeah, he just mentioned how was the preparation this week coming off 2 losses and also some of the distractions that you guys have had.
Yeah, it wasn't easy, right? We had the tough, close loss against St. Augustine and then had to go all the way down to Gainesville and didn't play well. And then we had a bye week, so it's been 3-4 weeks since we won a football game. And all the distractions and whatnot, I think our players handled that very well. Coaching staff handled it very well. So we've just been hungry. And I told our guys our main message tonight was we got to get back to playing our brand of inspired football, playing with a chip on our shoulder. And I felt like we did that, and it's a big-time win for us.
All right, let's finish up with this. Where do you feel you're at now? I think 5-2 record after this win tonight, back on the winning track. You dealt with all the circumstances and weather, and you pull out a win. How do you feel now going into week 9 and the later parts of October as you build toward the end of the year?
Yeah, I feel really good about it. It was just good to see our players play with confidence again tonight. I feel like we definitely got our swagger back. Look, we're 5-2. We lost to St. Augustine and Buchholz. Those are obviously 2 of the, top 5 or 10 teams in the state. And, we'll take them how they come. So we've got 3 quality opponents left. We've got to play Atlantic Coast, Sequoia, and then a very tough beachside team at the end of the year. So we're going to take it 1 week at a time, and hopefully we'll find our way in the playoffs and keep it rolling.
All right, Coach. Appreciate you checking in. Thanks. Go enjoy the weekend.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
All right, that's Colin Drafts and Nice Panthers head coach. I got to win 10-0 over Bartram. And Sully, we'll bring you back in. There's a lot going on there with Nice the last couple of weeks, right? Between the losses, get that swagger back, as he said, but also had a coach suspended, and then they just had that cut in half, by the way, the suspension.
Right.
They really defended Coach G down there for that whole situation. But that's kind of a lot to handle, and he does have a young football team. Remember that. Even though they were winning games early on, we were surprised in a sense because they have a young football team replacing a lot of guys from a year ago. So we're learning a lot on the fly.
Well, I thought he made a good point. You know, they lost to the really two good teams, and then they had the bye week. So really for 3 weeks, they haven't tasted victory. And so tonight, regardless of how ugly or pretty it looked, they got the win to get them back on track. And they've got basically 3 winnable games the last 3 games and could finish 8-2.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, right? I mean, the next 2, they'd probably be a prohibitive favorite in. That Beachside one could be a shootout between those 2 offenses. So we could have some fun football between Nice and those opponents coming down the stretch. But I agree with you. I think like when you're, again, haven't won in a few weeks and you go to Bartram, and then on top of that, you got to deal with the weather. You really have no idea the way that thing's going to turn out. And to get a win the way they did it, pretty impressive. And now go to 5-2 for the Nice Panthers. All right, Sully, we're going to take a timeout. We'll see you over on the other side about 10 o'clock here on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. We're going to have Action News Jacks at 10, streaming live on Action News Jacks Now. Stream right now, too. So we got it all going on the Action News and Action Sports Jacks platforms. Again, 10:30 tonight, streaming live. Fox 30 will be delayed because of sports. So streaming live the Blitz for a half hour, then the bands of the week at 11, 11:15, then another Blitz, and then we'll put a bow on all of this all the way up until midnight. Still got a couple hours to go. Week 8, high school football season. Thanks for hanging with us.
Hi, welcome into the Friday Night Zone Blitz and After Hours, if you will. I don't know. We need like a name for this little middle segment at 10 to 10:30.
The middle segment.
The middle segment. There it is. We just did it. We just did it. Hey, there you see on the right-hand side the streaming games that we had tonight. Fletcher Mandarin, it was our Whataburger game of the week. And it was a pretty good game. It was a slop fest. It's tough conditions in a lot of places. Mandarin was one of the places tonight. Rained for a long time. The field got real sloppy. Poor grounds crew is going to have to fix that one up. That's going to be some tough sledding for those guys. But Mandarin does come out on top 22-13. Fletcher tried to rally late and just couldn't. So good football game in our game of the week. You can always go back and listen and watch it with Noah and Brody and Chandler each and every week on YouTube. It lives there and on social media as well. Meanwhile, the Ponte Vedra Sharks. We're going to hear from Coach in just a moment, his message to the team. But they beat Middleburg. Middleburg falls for the first time this year, 6-1 now. They will be a game of the week of ours in just a couple of weeks. And what else we got? Fleming Island, Beachside. That one postponed until November 4th. Sully, I wanted to ask you a little bit about that. That one's postponed to the 4th, not the 7th, at least from what I understand, unless they got the date mixed up. Is that a little surprising that they're going to play that on a Tuesday instead of using that bye week to play the game?
Yeah, I was surprised they were going to play it on Tuesday. I thought they would play it on Thursday. We already have another makeup, I believe, down in Palm Coast in Mandarin. I mean, not Mandarin, Mainland. I believe they're doing a makeup game, DeLand and Mandolin, on that Thursday. So I thought that they would move it to the Thursday where it's almost a normal week, but then you still get a week off heading into the playoffs.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because the actual brackets and things will come out that weekend, right, after the 7th, so like the 8th, 9th, something like that. But anyway, I thought that was pretty interesting. They did move the game, and probably smart because it poured in St. Johns County at times too. You can really chew up your field, and their field was looking nice. I got sent a picture of it this week, so you don't want to ruin all that work. And they found a day to be able to play that one. Bradford is up 28-0 now. Really nice win for them, Coach, over Newberry, a team that beat them twice last year. It's a big one for Jamie Rogers' team.
Yeah, they seem to be hitting their stride a little bit offensively tonight. Not just tonight, but the last couple of weeks. Really scoring some points. But early in the year, they were in some games where they were pull away, but it wasn't like a total domination offensively. We know defensively they're really good week in, week out, no matter who they play. But I think offensively they've been coming around.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We got UC and Hawthorne at 34-15 or 36-15 now. So that one's about done. And UC tried to hang in. Hawthorne's very good. UC, we're trying to figure them out a little bit. I think we're so used to around here, and I am at least. Maybe everybody else has kind of moved on past this. I'm just so used to University Christian, Trinity Christian winning state championships and being right there all the time in the mix and being real dominant at times. Both those programs are not dominant, although Trinity had a pretty dominant win over Episcopal tonight. It doesn't mean they're not good. It just means it's a little bit of a different situation. And you see Sully, especially after they lost to Bishop Kenny earlier this year, still trying to figure them out as you get closer and closer to the latter stages of the year.
Yeah, like we talked about earlier, I think that they're really young in some spots, and they're going to get some cycle kids where they're going to have 2 or 3 years of just dominating 10, 11 wins, and then they taper off a little bit and they win 7, and we think, oh my gosh, they're rebuilding. So, but yeah, Coach, they do a great job with their kids, and Hawthorne, I mean, they state runner-up last year, state champ the year before. A pretty good team that they're in there fighting and playing with.
Hey, I mentioned that we had Ponte Vedra, Coach Price, big win for them over Middleburg. Ponte Vedra keeps knocking on that door. We think they're pretty good. They lose early on. They go back and win a few. They lose again. They come back. Good coach over there at Ponte Vedra and Coach Price. Here's his message to the team after the win.
I thought they were an improved football team from last year, and it was businesslike, and then we got some emotion going. And listen, it wasn't perfect. We still got to work hard and get better, right? But ain't this fun? Let's keep this thing going as long as we possibly can, right? I want to play this thing another 10 weeks, and we'll play out in December, and we. you know what? I like it. I like spending time with you.
I love you, Coach. I love you, Coach Wright. I love you, Coach.
Coaches, anything else?
No bathing suits. Bring a towel.
I love it.
When I was thinking of this while I was watching that, I was like, what goes through your mind as a coach, win or lose? And the message, a lot of people, at least us, we equate the pregame speech, right? We've been able to, a lot of coaches in the area have been nice enough to let us into the locker room prior to games. Some say, nah, don't do that, please. And I respect that. But you think about pregame speeches, getting your team hyped up. The postgame speech is a little bit different, right? It's not really well planned. When did you start thinking about that, Sully? After the final gun? Did you start thinking about that in the second half? Was it all spontaneous? What is that like?
No, probably a lot of that spontaneous. You get them, especially after the win. Like, after the win, it's really more relief. Coach Price is like, this is great. Wasn't that fun? That was so much fun. Yeah, we won. It was a lot of fun, Coach. But really, I think the way he presents it with his kids, it wasn't pretty. We were a little flat in the first half. Then we showed some emotion and fire and just dominated. And I really like what he said. I love being with you guys, and I like playing with you all, and I want to play with this group as long as I can. And that's been a message, like over the years, I used to tell our kids, you don't get the opportunity to be that group of people, coaches, kids. Every year is different. So, you play, and you keep trying to play as long as you can with that group of kids.
I really like that, and I liked hearing that from him. It's, by the way, a lot what we're hearing with Liam Cohen as we get more and more transparency from that organization, the Jaguars, right? How much he says that even at the professional level, which I think is pretty cool, how proud he is of them, how much he likes them, loves being their coach, those kind of things. Now, I bet you've had some teams that you didn't really love that team as much. Do you lie in those moments, or is it always genuine?
No, you always lie. No, but you always, it's so different emotionally because as coaches and even on, I don't know on the NFL level, but like on the high school level, you'll get a kid in ninth grade that you've had all 4 years and you've watched that kid develop and grow. And in baseball too, even with your own kid, just watching them grow and everything is such a great thing. And as the coach, that's like probably the greatest thing, watching those kids develop and watching them make plays and have excitement, be happy for them.
Yeah. I think it's funny. You could get real philosophical here, but I do believe even what we're covering highlights and high school kids and the action and the standings and the district champs and the chase to a state title. But the root of all this is always that, exactly what Coach Price said. The root of this is life experiences, relationships, all these different things. And I think that's why it trickles down that we still enjoy covering high school sports or talking high school sports because, well, you had a ton of those relationships, or people like us played sports and you still remember those relationships, or, it's longer than the 4 years, right? Or longer than the one season, to your point. So pretty cool. That was a nice moment there.
It's the purest form, Right now it's the purest form of football, high school football.
Absolutely, and it kind of keeps you young too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Or gets you real old in a hurry too some nights.
Old. I had no gray hair until about mid-30s.
Mid-30s. I liked it. That's pretty good. Hey, around the area, we also got, a Baldwin team we talked about tonight. I was over there. They got a win. Bowls continue. They rolled. So some of the teams that are big teams in the area, and I say big, that have really performed well this year. Bowls rolls, pretty easy win. St. Augustine over Clay, pretty easy win. Rains did not, though. Rains had to deal with some stuff tonight. They had Madison County, two really good programs, and 19-14 in the fourth quarter. They end up pulling away, win 27-14 at the Graveyard, Coach. And again, on a sloppy night, rainy night, that might have slowed Rains down even a little bit because of some of the weather, depending on what it looked like in downtown Jacksonville on the north side. But I think that's a really good win in a lot of different ways. Probably really helps Donovan Maslin and this Rains Vikings team moving forward.
Yeah, because they finally got to play in a close game. I don't think they played in a close game really the whole beginning of the season. And so now even the ones we thought they were going to be close, the Lake Mary game, they blew them out. So I think that they're probably a great message. Coach Maslin
Love they got the win, but love they struggled a little bit, showed a little character. We're behind probably first time all year. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of teaching on this tape, and it's going to help them down the road.
Yeah, Creekside, by the way, gets a win with Sean McIntyre and company. They win the district championship over at Atlantic Coast, pulled away. We mentioned this quite a bit, but we'll catch people up. It looks like Creekside's playing better football. They're growing as the season goes. We always like that. You can see the evolution of a team, and that's kind of the fun of coaching in high school sports and sports in general anyway. But it looks like Creekside's playing some pretty good ball right now.
Yeah, 4-1 in the last 5 weeks. And starting to really score some points offensively. And they always are in it, man. They fight. They kick. I give their kids a lot of credit. They may be out athlete against some of the teams, but boy, their kids play and really, really get after it.
No doubt. By the way, Ed White got after it tonight over Sandalwood. They win 49-6 was the score there. Mandarin over Fletcher 22-13. A nice win. I thought it was a good showing by both teams on a sloppy night. We haven't really talked about that one in the last little bit. But Mandarin finds a way in a different way. It's not the Bryson Wright show. It's not the Knox Annis show. They do get some things through the air, but not a lot of it. A lot of it came on the ground. They had to slug this one out a bit, Sully.
Yeah, on the ground and good defense. And that's one thing that you've got to be happy about. Mandarin is not giving up a ton of points. The field conditions probably helped them, but playing good defense and being able to run the ball in the rain is very advantageous.
Yeah, and a nice job, well done by them as they are able to get the win. I just had Colin Drafts on before we switched studios. They come up with a nice win over Bartram. 10-0 is the final score. He said it was just kind of gross down there, especially in the first half. Couldn't really do anything. I think he said to us, Sully, 3 passes. He doesn't think he's ever had that where he just completed 3 passes. But they do get sure. They hadn't won in a while. Remember, they started 4-0. They were the talk of the town. Everybody's praising them again. Then they have back-to-back losses against 2 really good teams, St. Augustine and Buchholz. But then they also have the bye week mixed in. Then they also have their coach suspended. Then they're defending their coach. Then that appeal gets kind of cut in half, or the suspension does once they get more information. So been a lot going on at Nice. I think this is probably a huge win to get them back on track.
Well, it's probably a huge win, but like you said, basically they haven't had a win in 4 weeks. And so that feeling of release and relief, hey, we're back on it. They've got a couple left that they can win and finish up at their last 3. They got a chance to win all 3 and could end up 8-2, 7-3, probably at the worst.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good. We haven't really. It's hard to know exactly what's going on in some of these situations, or it may not be hard to, but how much we talk about high school suspensions and things. Corey Johns was also suspended for this game. That was self-imposed by Bartram Trail. We don't really, we've been doing this a long time. I don't really feel like we've had a lot of this. Is there some kind of gamesmanship going down there in St. Johns County? What do you make of all the stuff going on in the last couple of weeks?
Probably there's a little gamesmanship, and I believe if you live in glass houses, don't throw stones.
Yeah.
So, that's sort of like it is. If, nowadays everybody is moving around and leaving and cheating, or I'm sorry, not cheating, bending the rules a little bit. And so if you're going to turn somebody in, you better make sure that you're clean. And I guess, I don't know what happened. I didn't really get into it and want to know about it, but usually those 2 programs, we don't have that issue.
Yeah, it was pretty. Again, I don't really remember a lot of this even mid-season in the last. I'm sure there was some, but I just don't really remember. And those are 2 big programs, by the way, in St. Johns County and around the state and everything else. So it wasn't a attention getter.
Well, the thing about it is, St. Johns County, they have that Victory and Honor program that all the coaches go through, so that's been a little bit of a joke on social media and everything like that.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a fair point. I mean, I'm kind of with you. I didn't dive too deep into it. I don't know if I want to know all the details, but you don't want to lose respect for anybody or other programs or things like that. But right. It felt like it was pretty wild that it all unfolded within about a couple weeks span, at least publicly, in that situation.
With you, man. And it's part of the problem, I guess, with high school football. And if you believe that nobody's talking to any of your players, you don't live in 2025.
Yeah, well,
so,
yeah, and I also
kids worry about your kids.
Yeah, and I also think it's pretty interesting. This is not new.
the fact that kind of like, let's just say what we do with the committed to the uncommitted program. There are a lot of coaches in the area that also help kids not associated with their school get to the next level and really try to help those kids out. And we have several coaches in the area that really do that. And I think Coach G down at Nice is one of those guys with college ties. Obviously, he's coached in that arena before. And so that's kind of the root of this one that ended up coming to the latest resolution on it, right? Yeah. But so there's a lot of different ways to do it. Listen, I've heard some things in the past, and not specific to this one, but you never know if it's your own parents calling in on things or your own people.
Get rid of this guy. We'll say he recruited so and so. They just transferred in. Oh, I wouldn't doubt that nowadays. Without a doubt.
Believe me. I'm not sure if it's the sport of football, but might have heard about it in other sports in the past. So, you got to. Hopefully, everybody takes care of that situation. Looks like just a one-gamer for Corey Johns and Bartram Trail, and it seems like they figured out the one at Nice as well. But Nice does get back on track. Speaking of our committed to the uncommitted, presented by Nimnick Buick GMC, and Jack McKissick from Oakleaf. He was the nominee tonight, quarterback for Oakleaf. He's played a couple seasons, 6'2" guy, 200 pounds. He's got some good numbers. You really like the way he manages a football game. I think Coach Floyd probably likes the way he manages a football game. He's got a lot of wins now in the last couple of years with the Knights, and the Knights look like they're trending in a good way.
Yeah, they had a good one tonight. I know they were up 24-0 end of the third. So that's a real big win for them. But, they're looking forward to that Mandarin game here in another week or two.
Yeah, we got some big games coming up. That's one of them, right? Mandarin, Oakleaf still to come. Mandarin, St. Augustine still to come. And we were just talking to Coach Colin Drassa later, a few weeks down the road. We got Beachside and Nice. That could be a lot of fun. So some good games still on the horizon around here. I think, Chandler, before we let you go, Sully, I think they have their Blitz Breakdown rankings. The Blitz Breakdown was Wednesday night this time around this week because of Monday Night Football. It'll be back on Monday next week. So every Monday, 8 o'clock on the Action Sports Shacks 24/7 network, just part of our expanded high school coverage. You get 5 hours plus on a Friday night. You get another hour on Mondays at 8 o'clock with Chandler and Noah and Brody, and Sully joins the show a lot. They make their picks. They do their rankings, talk a little ball. And Rains wins, St. Augustine wins, Bowles wins, Mandarin wins, Nice wins, Oakleaf wins, Beachside doesn't play. That game got canceled, and Bradford is going to win. So I'm not sure we'll get much of a shakeup, Coach, in these rankings.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get any. I thought you were putting up the predictions. I think I went undefeated this week. I lost one on my predictions.
Maybe that's why Chandler didn't offer that up.
Because Noah was saying last week he went undefeated.
All right, you got that. We had a little bragging rights here on the show. Again, Monday night they can talk all about that on the Blitz Breakdown. But those 8, we got some teams that are in the mix. I still feel like Ed White somewhere factors in somewhere in there. I'm not sure. Like, where's a Bishop Kenny? Trinity wins big day. They're going to start to catch fire. We're going to start to hear their name a little bit more. There are some other teams. But right now, those 8 teams that are pegged have played pretty good ball, and obviously most of them won tonight if they played.
Yeah, and again, there's some good teams right there on the outskirts there. And the cool thing about that, with the exception of Mandarin and Oakleaf, most of those teams are in different classifications.
Yeah.
So that's good, because that's going to mean we're going to have a lot of teams in the playoff, a lot of key guys get to make those memories and hopefully make a deep run and get a couple teams in the state championship games.
Yeah, absolutely. I know you've been saying that all year, that you could still do that. James brings up Yulee remains undefeated. That was a nice win over Fernandina Beach tonight. I don't know when that question was asked about the Middleburg score. That was, if you're wondering about the Middleburg score, it's 41-14, by the way. Ponte Vedra won. And
I believe Yulee and Rains are playing, I don't know if not district-wise, but possible playoff matchup.
Yeah, that would be in a couple weeks. I think Rains and Creekside go next week. I haven't looked too far ahead on the schedule, but I think you're a couple weeks away there. Mm-hmm. And, Coach, this comment that we didn't see in real time, but it's an elephant stand. I agree with Mr. Weber. You have to go back to the middle of the Friday Night Zone Blitz to figure that one out.
You got to be careful of saying that, because you don't know who was up on there directing the band now.
Kevin Sullivan said that. He's a Hall of Famer, folks. And we did not have that visual, by the way, so we have no idea. Sully did tell a good story. He kind of glanced over it today. I had asked him, like, what's one of the worst weather conditions that he played in a bunch of them. And he said, I don't know. I think you said you were at Ed White. Ed White one year, and you stepped out on the field, and your whole foot sunk in the mud, and you lost your shoe, and you coached the rest of the game barefoot.
Yeah, I went in socks for about a quarter, and then I'm like, I'm done with this, and took them off. Yeah, there's a bunch of them. We had one in Baker County at our place, and we were the underdog, and I told the kids if we won that I'd slide through the big mud puddle down on the side, and that's all they wanted to do. We actually upset them and won, and that's all they wanted to do.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it because Baker County was on the field like 10, 15 minutes after, and I had to do it anyway, so I did it. The kids went crazy.
You had to apologize to Coach after, probably,
yeah,
right?
Like, Coach, I'm sorry. Like, I called him the next day. I'm like, Coach, I wasn't trying to show you up, but I'd bet our kids. And he's like, oh, thanks, Coach. I'm glad you called. So.
Hey, that's good stuff, man. That's what it's all about. That's a lot of fun. So, hey, have a good weekend, and we'll do it. Actually, we won't see you next week. We'll see you in 2 weeks. But are you going to the game Sunday?
No, we're down in West Palm with the grandbaby.
Okay.
So
all right. Have a good trip. And then you're going up to the mountains a little bit, right?
Yeah. So, yes, then we'll be in the mountains, but I'll probably be back the following Friday. But I'll be on either way.
All right. Sounds good. Safe travels. We'll be in London, but, yeah, hopefully a Jags win on Sunday at 1 o'clock.
All right.
All right, man.
Good talking.
That's right. Good job. That's our coach, our Hall of Famer, Kevin Sullivan. We have a lot of fun. St. Augustine, yes, with another win. You got it, Mr. Bean. And they are rolling. They win a district championship. They have had a very nice season and more to come from St. Augustine and Brian Braddock's group on the way for the rest of this season. Where, hey, next week, no Friday night zone blitz, but we will have our Whataburger game of the week. So we will have that. We just have less resources since a couple of us are in London. So we wouldn't think we could pull it off the way we normally do. So we'll be back on the Friday night zone blitz, which is our extravaganza showing all the live games from 8 until whenever they end. And that will come back on October 24th. But you start doing the math now in the season as we hit October 10th. You got about a month to go before the postseason. So it's winding down now, but still a lot more to go in the month of October and a lot of fun as things shake out. Ed White, long time ago, played for it. Good to see them still taking care of business. Lawrence Johnson's doing a great job. Really good job. Had a tough loss a couple weeks ago to Merritt Island, but they've been back on track ever since, and things are going well at Ed White. We think they're one of the top teams in the area, and I think they think so too. All right, we will hit the Friday night blitz coming up in just a few minutes, so keep it here. You get all the highlights, some of the reaction and everything for a half hour. Bands of the week, 11 to 11:15. 11:15 to 11:35, we do another edition of the blitz with all the highlights. Just a quicker version. And then we come back here with all the guys and recap the night of week 8 in the high school football season. So take a time out. We'll be back right after this. Burgers or breakfast, you can get it all at Whataburger. Try something new on the menu or an all-time favorite like the Whataburger Patty Melt.
And now you can have breakfast here at Whataburger 12 hours a day, 11 p.m. until 11 a.m. Menu items like the bacon taquito, sausage taquito, honey butter chicken biscuit. Whether you work the late night shift, just want a snack early in the morning to get your day started, or a little pick-me-up late in the morning, 12 hours a day, breakfast served, 11 p.m. until 11 a.m.
A dozen locations in Jacksonville. You can order pickup or delivery and download the Whataburger app. New rewards members get free Whataburger items when placing their first online order. Just download the app. And for us coffee drinkers, Whataburger has all new hot coffee and iced coffee too. Satisfy that coffee craving at Whataburger 24/7, and it comes in a variety of flavors. Burgers, breakfast, coffee, and so much more. Whataburger, just like you like it.
only have 30 seconds to tell you why Action News Jax is the place to turn to when storms hit. The only team with every meteorologist certified to forecast severe weather, so you can plan your day with confidence. The only team to receive an award from the Florida Disaster Foundation for keeping our communities safe during hurricanes. And the most experienced chief meteorologist in Jacksonville, Mike Burrish, so your forecast is built around accuracy. Action News Jax First Alert Weather. It's severe weather coverage you can count on. This is Action Sports Jax Friday Night Blitz, sponsored by Whataburger, just like you like it.
10 minutes out! 10 minutes out! Let's go! We're here all night!
I got a big battle down in St. Johns County, Nice and Bartram Trail. Some underlying storylines there as well. And Colin Draughts and Nice trying to get a win for the first time in a few weeks after starting 4-0.
They have played some really good teams in the last couple weeks, mind you, in St. Augustine and Buchholz, and another one in Bartram Trail, and another battle certainly in St. Johns County. It feels like week in, week out. That's what you're going to get with those teams.
Welcome to Friday Night Blitz, everybody. Just hours and hours of high school football coverage. Week number 8, Brent Martineau, Stuart Weber, and most teams got it in. There was one postponement, Beachside and Fleming Island. That will be moved to November 4th. But other than that, everybody said, hey, we'll try to play in this weather.
I was a little worried when that one came across the wire. I was
early
like,
this morning, too.
It was early, and I'm like, oh no, are we going to lose a lot of games? Well, just the one. Luckily, a lot played, including our game of the week.
The Game of the Week, sponsored by Whataburger.
All right, let's head down to the corral, shall we? Mandarin Mustangs playing host to the Beach Rats, the Fletcher Senators. We skip ahead to the third quarter. Mandarin's up 8-7 and driving when Knox Annis finds who else? Bryson Wright. They actually held him in check in that first half pretty well, but you're not going to hold Bryson Wright in check for the entire game. Later in the drive, Mandarin's in the Wildcat. Seanquez Foster, he fumbled the snap at first. You see all the rain. Lots and lots of rain, but he picked it up and runs it in for the score, 14-7. Third quarter, Mandarin's knocking on the door. Annis to Will Jones, and it's 22-7 with a 2-point conversion for the Mandarin Mustangs. To the fourth, Mandarin driving again, but how about Rodney Johnson? He says the Senators, we're not out of this just yet. Picks off the pass, and the Beach Rats in business. Same drive, Joshua Jones going to take it himself. This puts 6 on the board for the Senators. Fletcher gets within 9, but wouldn't make the extra point and make it a one-possession game. They go down 22-13. Your final score is the Mustangs hold off Fletcher and get the win. Here's Action Sports Jax, Marcel Robinson.
I'm here with victorious head coach Toby Bullock. I mean, 22-13 in the Gateway Conference game. That was extremely sloppy, but you came out with the win. Talk to me about this hard-fought game we had tonight.
Man, all props to Fletcher, man. They got to play in a game similar to this last week. It showed they were ready. They came out with a couple great philosophies, got us early with some things. We settled down and could have closed it out with a bigger victory, but we ended up making some mistakes, but overcame it with the adversity, and that's all you can ask for is when adversity hits, can you get over it? And we were able to do it tonight.
Not the first time that you guys have been victim to some of that adversity, but this is also not the first time you've overcome those. Obviously, you'd hope to not have to, but you got to like the way that your team overcomes them, and especially coming as we get closer to the end of the season.
We need to have a better, positive, loving attitude towards each other when adversity hits. But with that being said, they do rally around each other, and if we can keep growing in that area, there's no telling where we can go.
Last one for you, just talk to the seniors, never losing in the Gateway Conference. That's pretty big.
It's pretty awesome. They've never lost in the Gateway Conference. They get to, for the rest of their lives, go around and say they're undefeated. And so that's pretty cool, and what an accomplishment for them, and I couldn't be happier for them.
We got a lot of guys out here doing the slip and slide thing. You up next?
No. Last time I did a slip and slide was 3 years ago. We did it at the end of the summer for a fun day, and I pulled a hammy. It was terrible. Coach Coleman had to drag me off the field. We had to go see the doctor. It was terrible. Never again.
Well, this wasn't terrible, and it was a fun day for the Mandarin Mustangs. They're your winners tonight over Fletcher.
Nice win for them, and good embrace at the end, too. good teams, hard-fought game in that Gateway Conference. And all that slipping and sliding might be fun for Mandarin. Not so fun for the grounds crew. We've got to clean that up. We've had a great games of the week so far, and that was another good one. And then next, Crescent City, Palatka. Unless we flex it. I don't know if we flex it yet. That's up to Stuart Weber. Middleburg, Fleming Island down the road. Ed White, Baldwin. Could be a lot of fun. We'll show you Baldwin a little bit later, but they're averaging a bunch of points a game. So a lot more good games to go on our way to the postseason. How about this? Bartram Trail hosting Nice. We mentioned at the top of the show. Wet and Wild football game on Longleaf Pine Parkway. First play from scrimmage is a good one for the Panthers. Enrique Ordonez takes the handoff deep into Bear territory. No points at the end of that drive, though. Look at the rain coming down and just got to take care of the ball. Field position becomes a thing. Different story on the second drive. Aiden Pfeiffer, he takes it in himself to give the Panthers a touchdown lead. Second quarter, same score. More rain. Pfeiffer to Ordonez. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage, and that about sums up the night in certain spots around the area. Splish, splash. At the end of the day, the Nice Panthers get a win, 10-0. They do it with defense. They only had to complete 3 passes, by the way, in this football game. 10-0 win for Nice. Bartram without Corey Johns tonight, who was serving a suspension.
First Coast down in Clay County to meet Oakley. Good night to get some dancing in. A little pregame dancing in the rain. Why not? Home team.
Singing in the rain.
Moving
dancing.
the ball. Jack McKissick, QB keeper, into the end zone. You're committed to the uncommitted tonight. Fans, they're having a good time. More dancing. Having a great blast. A blast up. It's high school football, man. It's fun. It's supposed to be fun.
That was a fumble snap. Picked it up, and look what happened.
Yeah, it finds Trace Burney. Big pickup for the Oakleaf Knights, and leads to another score from McKissick. Almost a tush push. It's actually illegal to do the tush push in high school.
True.
But, it was kind of a little help. I mean, just a little assist.
A little scrum.
Yeah, a little scrum. Oakleaf gets a shutout win, 24-0 over First Coast.
The Middleburg Broncos taking on the Ponte Vedra Sharks. The Bronx undefeated. Let's go to the third quarter. Sharks up 13-7. Cole Rosendahl, he's the quarterback for the Ponte Vedra Sharks in white. He throws one up. Jack Berquist. A little contested, but he goes up there and makes the play. Ponte Vedra touchdown, 20-7. Later in the third quarter, Sharks at their own 15, and Ponte Vedra hoping to make something happen, but Floyd Reed, watch him on the far side. Beautiful coverage. Makes a play on the ball. He picks it off. Couple plays later, though, Middleburg trying to get back in the game. Good field position. The ball is tipped, and Cooper Sobiecki, he's got it. Number 26 for Ponte Vedra. Off to the races, trying to get some blocks. Trying to get in the end zone. Good play by number 5 at the end. Later in the third, Sharks up 27-7 now. Cole Rosendahl sidearms one to Dammit Doherty. And he's in the end zone. 34-7. All Sharks in the second half, 41-14. Here's Action Sports Jax, Olivia Tasley and Coach Price.
All right, Olivia Tasley here with Steve Price. Coach, what a fun win. I kept hearing you say the word fun in your post-game speech. I mean, how fun was it for you?
Oh, it was great, man. Our kids are great. I just love being around them. They work incredibly hard, and listen, we're tough on them all week long, and Fridays are the payoff, right? And I'm just so proud of them. It hasn't been an easy season, but they have faced a lot of adversity, and they just keep coming back, and I just want to keep it rolling as long as we can.
And that defense of yours, I mean, it seemed like takeaway after takeaway after takeaway from those guys, and of course limiting to the Broncos to 14 points out there. How proud are you of that group?
Yeah, defense played really, really good. Our hats off to Coach Wolf and the Broncos. Man, he's doing a really good job with them here, and they're a handful. The score got away from them a little bit at the end, but I'm thrilled to death with those defensive guys. It's just fun to watch them score and pick off passes and those type of things. And then of course I really thought our offense played really, really good. Just efficient and businesslike, and I think we're coming together at the right time.
What's clicking for your team right now?
Well, I think our special teams does a great job. Coach Owens does a great job with that, and we've got really talented guys on special special teams, so we get a good field most of the time. Our guys have been in the system now for a long time, and they've played together for a long time. That's one thing that Ponte Vedra is, I think, very special is the kids. They play in youth league, and they just come all the way up together, and it's a lot of fun being part of the high school team.
All right, thank you, Liv. Last week we had a little Saturday afternoon football, the annual Northwest Classic, pitting rivals Rains and Ribault against each other. Two schools separated by about a mile, creating one of the top game day experiences year in and year out. And much like last few years, the actual game, proved to be kind of one-sided as the Vikings cruise to a big, big win. Let's check out our fans of the week. And look, every fan at every game who showed up tonight is the fans of the week. We got all the umbrellas, all the ponchos. Everyone's protected except for the photogs with the cameras. That's a lot of umbrellas. That's some good work. But you know what? Shout out to all these fans for showing up and supporting their teams.
Well, let's go to Rains. The Vikings take on the visiting Madison County Cowboys. We got a couple of really good programs traditionally. Opening kickoff, Nasir Williams. This is for Madison County.
They won the rural championship last year, the rural classification.
They've won a lot over the decades, and watch this one all the way back from Madco, and they lead 6-0. So a quick little punch that Rains has to take. Remember, Rains has been beating everybody handily. Second quarter, Rains driving. T.J. Cole keeps the play alive, and then keeps the eyes up. Zion Butler's got it on the sideline.
Nice pickup.
Later in the drive, Tadarius Washington. He's got it. Put 6 on the board for the Vikings. This was a back and forth, tightly contested game. A late fourth quarter touchdown for Rains puts it away, 27-14.
All right, out at Normandy, Eagles View is changing the view. I like the helmets, the view. Warriors can eclipse last year's win total if they get a victory over Tampa area Keswick Christian. Visiting Crusaders going for it on fourth down, but you know what? Eagles View knows where the sticks are. Corey Lavoie makes the stop. That forces a turnover on down. Still scoreless second quarter. Ethan Garland going to take the snap, and he'll find some space on the outside. Big pickup for the Warriors. However, that drive would stall. Clock running down. This is the final seconds of the first half. Keswick just gets the snap off and a delayed signal, but eventually they do give the touchdown to Grant Cook. Only points of the half come on the last play of the half. Down 6 at the break. Eagles View comes out roaring in the second half after I leave. They win 13-6. Sorry, Coach Bailey. I will not come again. But maybe I'll send another one of our videographers.
Coach Bailey had a heck of a week now. He's got a tattoo of the Jags. He probably loved that Monday nighter.
Guaranteed.
Gets a win here on Friday night. One of my favorite interviews from High School Media Day.
Keswick was 4th in the state in the SSAA, so that's a big win for EVA.
Shout out to Eagles View. More to come on the Blitz, including some games that mean a little more. How about a district title championship game? We have that one for you coming up next.
We are the Mandarin Mustangs, and you're watching Friday Night Blitz.
This is Action Sports Jax Friday Night Blitz, sponsored by Whataburger, just like you like it.
He's learned the offense. He's got his progressions down. He knows what to do. Is Bryson Wright? Let's go. The pass, and it's caught for the 2-point conversion.
Check out the bingo card for Bryson Wright. They do a little bit of everything as he passes for 2 in Mandarin's big win in our Whataburger Game of the Week.
The Coach of the Week, sponsored by Whataburger.
Coach of the Week.
And a big shout out to Toby Bullock and the Mandarin Mustangs. And a big thanks, of course, to our partners, Whataburger and Jaguars Prep, for supporting our local high schools, including the Mandarin Mustangs.
Yeah, nice game out there tonight in a little bit of a slop fest. They're having fun. That one meant a lot to him, you could tell. Toby doesn't usually smile that big after even wins, you know. Good one for them tonight. One game did get wiped from the schedule. We mentioned it over at Beachside. The Barracudas were set to face Fleming Island in the district matchup. That game now be played on November 4th. That's a Tuesday. The field was deemed unplayable from all the rain the last couple of days. Got about 3 inches of rain. The Cougars did win our game of the week on that same field last week.
Let's go to a district championship battle. Creekside Knights.
You're going to bring us a little buffer in there for.
Let's go. Yeah, you can't do that. Actually, you'll get sued. Fourth quarter, Knights up 14-0. Rozzy Sperry runs it himself. That's 6 on the board for the home team. 21-0. Then Davis Baldwin.
Nice run.
Yeah, a little bounce off the defender and dives in. Another touchdown for Creekside. We stay in the fourth. Stingrays in the Knights end zone, but this ball gets picked off by Kyle Payton. Nice return, and we watched this live on the Zone Blitz. This sideline was jacked up for this one. They absolutely loved Payton getting an interception there, and they had some fun with it.
Look at Coach Mack.
I mean, Coach Mack's having a good time. Late in the fourth, Atlantic Coast backed up in their end zone, and this one's picked off by Harris Oliver. Runs it back. That's a pick 6 to put the punctuation mark on it. 35-6 your final score. Creekside is your district champs.
This one's for all marbles. Hats off to Coach Durham and Atlantic Coast. They're much better every single year that they've been there, and just super proud of our kids. District championships, spot in the playoffs. That's what you play for. That's our season. That's our goal every year, to be district champs. And so step 1 accomplished. Next, we'll keep it moving and try to keep getting better next week. So this year we started off kind of rough with how young we were, and we're growing up because of our work. So every single day these guys come to work, and it paid off tonight, and I'm proud of them and proud to be their coach.
Better and better as we go. Down to Stark we go. Bradford County Tornadoes taking on the Newberry Panthers. Newberry beat them twice a year ago. Early in the first, Newberry down by 7. Panthers punting it away. It's blocked. Recovered by Kingston Booker. And Bradford can do it all. They'll play nasty defense. They get after it on special teams. And you got some offense, too. Later in the third, Tornadoes side coverage throws to Kamate Nixon, 14-0. And guess what? They would do that
Fireworks,
again.
baby.
Oh, you got the fireworks.
We love the fireworks in Stark.
What a great atmosphere. Coverage. Watch Nixon this time.
Woohoo. Is that the You Got Mossed?
That would be one.
Yeah,
that's
work.
very good. Tornadoes get some revenge, 28-7. Nice win out there tonight.
Obviously, those guys got us 2 times last year. They're the defending state champions. A lot of these guys got to play on that team last year, and basically they whipped us up pretty good a couple of times last year. Really proud of the week and the preparation that we had. That's why we got the victory tonight.
Appreciate the band performing for Action Sports Jax tonight after the game.
Great atmosphere out there,
Englewood
man.
visiting Riverside tonight in the backyard. Both teams trying to get their seasons on track, get some wins going here. First quarter, Jaden DeLon, quick pass out to Demetrius Hugger. He's got some blockers, dives for the corner of the end zone. That's a general touchdown, and what does that mean? When you're in the backyard,
look out.
The cannon! That makes it 7-0 for the home team.
That would go off a bunch.
In fact, I don't know if they had enough firepower for that.
Slippery ball.
Yeah, trouble with the wet ball. That's a lateral. It is Darrell Gathers who gathers up the loose ball for the Generals. Thank you, Coach.
They didn't call that on Joe Burrow.
No, they didn't. A few plays later, DeLon, another quick pass out to Cedric Odell. He will find Paydirt. 67 on the board for the Riverside Generals. They get a win in a big way.
Block your ears. The student section at Wolfson braving the elements tonight. comfortable temperatures if you can avoid some of the rain. And, well, we did over there. Wolfpack against the potent offense of the Baldwin Indians. Indians score quickly on the first possession. Nashawn Jacobs with the run play navigates the real estate well and pretty much walks into the end zone, 7-0 lead. Baldwin got a fumble recovery on the kickoff, so they had it again. Wilson's defense steps up on the play. Migner Mir-E-Teran with the quarterback sack for Wolfson. But a short time later, it's 4th and goal. Indians go for it. Baldwin's quarterback is Steven Screws, gets into the end zone for a 14-0 lead. Screws would score another one a short time later. 21-0 lead, 5 minutes into the game. I said they could score it, and they can. They average about 37 points a game, and a little bit more than that tonight. 41-13 win over the Wolfpack.
Let's go to Southeast Georgia, shall we? Glenn Academy, and one play to show you. It's Max Noonan. He's your quarterback. He still has the ball way back there in the backfield, and he still has the ball. He switches hands. He's going 86 yards on this QB keeper. He's just a sophomore. Big touchdown for Noonan as they get the win, 28-2 over South Effingham. Some other scores, by the way. Brunswick gets upset at Statesboro. Camden County falls at home to Lowndes in Southeast Georgia.
How about the Fort White Indians? They have their homecoming game against Zarephath Academy. So everybody fired up. Doesn't look rainy right there, does it? First play of the game. John Lawson takes a carry, weaves around defenders. He's off to the races and will not be caught. First play goes 68 to the house, 7-0 very early. After an Indian takeaway, they go with trickery. Quarterback Matthew Pitts pitches it back to Jaden Jackson, looking to throw, finds a wide open Xavier Gibson.
Yeah, that's wide
comes
open.
back, catches it, and then he must have watched Travis Hunter the other night.
Yeah, it was very Hunter-esque.
That was very good. Fort White dominates the Eagles 49-6 on homecoming. They're 4-3.
Let's come back to Jacksonville, fighting Christians of University Christian, taking on a really good team in the Hawthorne Hornets. First quarter, UC down 22-0. Khalil Thompson with a bullet to Zay Hilliard. That'll put
that one.
UC on the board. Nice arm there. UC going for 2. And another tush push. Maybe it isn't illegal in Florida.
Maybe.
I thought it was illegal in Florida in the high school level to do that.
Used to be.
Oh, they're doing it now. Second quarter, this time it's Ty Keister in at quarterback. This is a 4th and forever. Through the arms and into the end zone. UC comes down with it 28-15. UC able to push late, but it is Hawthorne who comes away with the win on the road at UC.
The Player of the Week, sponsored by Whataburger.
Well, congrats to our Week 7 Whataburger Player of the Week. It's Tony Kennedy from First Coast. He's had a nice year. He rushed for 207 yards on 14 carries, 2 touchdowns. Also accounted for a 52-yard touchdown pass on offense, 4 tackles, and a 100-yard interception return for a touchdown on defense.
That's pretty good.
That's a lot of work, and well done for our Player of the Week. More to come on the Blitz, including the Play of the Week, plus another Jaguars memory as the 4-1 Jags get ready for another home game Sunday, 1 o'clock at the Bank.
We're the Fletcher Centers, and you're watching Friday Night Blitz.
Action Sports Jax Friday Night Blitz. Sponsored by Whataburger, just like you like it.
I caught a one-handed left-hand pick. It's kind of out of my reach. I just stretched out my left hand. Obviously, I got hands, so my hand, they just stuck to me. They just stuck to my hands. I set the offense up for a touchdown.
Well, hopefully you can use that left hand.
That's right. He's got hands. One of them is in a club.
That's right. That's Trayvon Walker. He was an amazing high school football player, as you might imagine, coming out of Georgia. Jags home on Sunday against the Seattle Seahawks. We got all the coverage. Starts at 11:30 in the morning, CBS 47. Game on Fox 30. Hope to see you at the bank.
The Smart Play of the Week is brought to you by the FSCJ Mandarins.
Just saw it a moment ago from Bradford. Cy Covich to Camonte Nixon. I certified you got mossed.
That is. You said it. It's funny how that's become just
common
a thing,
right?
vernacular.
It is. It's wild.
Is that the right way to say that?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
It's in the lexicon.
In a short time.
It's joined the lexicon.
Yeah, I think so. Look it up, kids.
Words with friends.
Friday night Zone Blitz from 8 p.m. until midnight. Not next week. Just a reminder, next week we won't, but we'll pick it back up October 24th. We'll be in London next week, so we're not going to do that. We will have a game of the week next week, though, broadcast.
So we're not streaming from like a soccer game over there?
No.
The Watford U21 team's playing at the 7 o'clock. We're not getting that?
Action or darts. Okay. Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. We'll take you up until midnight tonight, though. 11 o'clock, we get the bands going here in just a moment. 11:15 Blitz again, and then a recap all the way until.
Speaking of the bands, let's leave you with one from Bishop Snyder, our band of the week. Remember, stay tuned on Action Sports Jax 24/7. More bands to come and more highlights to come as well.
Thanks for watching Action Sports Jax Friday Night Blitz. Sponsored by Whataburger, just like you like it.
yet takes away from us.
This is Action Sports Jax Friday Night Blitz, sponsored by Whataburger, just like you like it.
10 minutes out! 10 minutes out! Let's go! We're here all night!
Well, we're here all night too, Coach.
Yeah.
Coach Colin Drafts and Nice, St. Johns County clash against Bartram Trail on what looks like a nice night there. It didn't turn into one for a lot of folks around the area with all the rain. Hey,
Deceptive, very deceptive that shot to start the show.
Welcome to the Friday Night Blitz. Brent Martineau along with Stuart Weber, the entire Action Sports Jax team. It was wet, it was windy. Temperatures were kind of comfortable, but we got a lot of football in, didn't we?
It was good because we all had extra jackets on for the rain. So, that's helpful that the temperatures were a little cooler at least.
True. Sweatshirt kind of weather if you really wanted it.
Yeah, maybe.
If it wasn't raining.
Next week in London will be.
That too.
Yeah.
The Game of the Week, sponsored by Whataburger.
Let's take a look at our Game of the Week. Mandarin Mustangs taking on the visiting Fletcher Senators. And third quarter we go. Mandarin up 8-7. Annex knocks Annex, finds Bryson Wright. That's a beautiful catch. And Bryson, he had somewhat of a quiet night because of all the weather.
Yeah.
Knocks Annex with a beautiful throw as well there. Later in that drive, Mandarin's in the Wildcat. Chunquez Foster fumbled the snap, picked it up. Must have been watching Trevor the other night. 14-7 was the score. Third quarter, Mandarin knocking on the door. Fletcher's end zone. Annis finds Will Jones to go up 22-7 with a 2-point conversion. In the fourth quarter, Mandarin was driving again. Rodney Johnson says, hey, Senators aren't done yet. Picks it off the hands and looked like he was going all the way back, but a good saving tackle by the Mustangs. Same drive. Joshua Jones takes it in himself. Gets around the edge. The offensive players have such an advantage knowing where they're going on a night like tonight, and a little slip and slide. 22-13. Mandarin holds off the late Senator surge. They win it. 22-13 was the final.
Just the latest chapter in our Game of the Week schedule of all in-county rivalries. That one, of course, the Gateway County Clash. Coming up next, perhaps, Crescent City at Palatka. We got to make some decisions. We got to decide if we got to make some. We're at the point in the season where we start to look at the schedule and try to find the best matchups. Of course, we'll have your Game of the Week next week streaming live on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. How about Bartram Trail? Playing host to Nice. Look, it got wet a little later on. The pregame speech was dry, but then the rain came. First play from scrimmage, a good one for the Panthers in Enrique Ordonez with the handoff. He's going to take this all the way deep into Bear territory, but no points at the end of the drive. Different story on the second Nice drive. Aiden Pfeiffer takes it himself. Panthers get the touchdown and the lead. How about this? That was the only touchdown of the whole game. Second quarter, same score, more rain. Pfeiffer hands off to Ordonez, gets swallowed up at the line of scrimmage by a pack of Bears. Not too many highlights or points in this one, but Nice does get the win, and they win 10-0.
First Coast down in Clay County to meet Oakleaf. A good night to get some dancing in. Yeah, why not? Have some fun in the rain. Home team moving the ball. Jack McKissick committed to the uncommitted tonight, by the way. He's the QB. He's in the end zone. 7-0 for the Knights. Even the fans getting into it. Listen, if you're going to sit out there, you might as well have some fun, right?
That's right.
Hey, bad snap here, but McKissick turns it into a pass to Trace Burney. So it made something out of nothing. And they would get a little rugby
conversion on third and long right there.
Yeah, for another touchdown. 14-0. Oakleaf gets the shutout over First Coast. 24-0 was the final.
Middleburg Broncos undefeated on the season, playing host to a really good Ponte Vedra squad. Let's go to the third quarter. Sharks leading it 13-7. So one touchdown game at the break. Cole Rosendahl just throwing it up, and it's Jack Berquist coming down with it for the Ponte Vedra touchdown, 20-7. Later in the third, Sharks are at their own 15 and looking to make something happen on the sideline. But you know who has other ideas? Floyd Reed. How about that? Nice interception for the home Broncos. A couple plays later, however, it's Middleburg dropping back. This pass tip. Cooper Sobicki gets the pick. He's headed the other way, nearly takes it all the way for the pick six, but finally gets tackled inside the 5. Later in the third, Sharks leading by 20 when Rosendahl is going to sidearm it to David Doherty, and that puts the Sharks up 34-7. They get the job done 41-14. Ponte Vedra wins it.
Hey, over to Reigns we go. The Vikings taking on the visiting Madison County Cowboys, and this one turned into a good one. Reigns hasn't had many of those. Opening kick, Nasir Williams takes it all the way back for Madco. The Cowboys, a nice little run. He broke through a couple tackles. They would lead 6-0, so a little punch early on Reigns had to take, and they took it pretty well because they would respond. Second quarter, TJ Cole, reigning Friday Night Blitz Player of the Year. Just calm back there, isn't he? Well, even when it got chaotic, he stays calm, keeps the eyes up. Strike to Zion Butler on the sideline, a little something out of nothing. Later in the drive, Tadarius Washington takes it in, and he gets in. 7-6 at the time. They go on to win this one 27-14.
How about we head west, way west? Normandy Park, we're going Eagles view. Changing the view. The Warriors can eclipse last year's win total with a victory over Tampa area Keswick Christian, visiting Crusaders, going for it in fourth down, but Eagles view knows where the sticks are. Ja'Cory Lavoie makes the stop. That forces a turnover on down. Still scoreless second quarter. Ethan Garland taking the snap. He's going to find some space on the outside. It's a big pickup for the Warriors, but the drive would stall. Down 6 at the break. Eagles view comes out roaring in the second half, and they earn the win 13-6 over a top 10 ranked team from St. Pete. We'll be right back on the Blitz.
The Coach of the Week, sponsored by Whataburger.
As Coach of the Week.
Fun night for Toby Bullock and the Mandarin Mustangs. And a big thanks, of course, to our partners with Whataburger and Jaguars Prep for sponsoring the Coach of the week.
I'll tell you, Toby's usually pretty stoic wins and losses. This one meant a lot to them to get that one over Fletcher, a pesky Fletcher team too. Nice win for the Mandarin Mustangs. Brent Martineau, Stuart Weber back at it. Let's keep going. Creekside Knights taking on the Atlantic Coast Stingrays. Fourth quarter, Knights up 14-0. Rozzy Sperry runs it in himself, puts 6 on the board, probably puts the game away at that point, 21-0. It's essentially a district champion. Well, it is a district championship game. Fourth quarter, Creekside in the red zone. Davis Baldwin, how did he get out there? And then diving into the end zone. I used to do that with the leaves up in New England, dive into the pile of leaves.
I don't know anything about that as a South Florida boy.
We had a couple of turnovers too, and the Knights get it done over the Stingrays, 35-6. They are district champs.
Let's go to Stark, Bradford. The Tornadoes taking on the Newberry Panthers, who beat them for the district title a year ago. Early in the first, Newberry trailing by 7 and punting it away. It's blocked, recovered by Bradford's Kingston Booker. We move to the third. The Nados at the 30. It's short for Tornadoes. Cy Cubbage to an open Camonte Nixon, 14-0. For the boys from Stark. You see the fireworks in the background. I love the fireworks at Bradford. Late third quarter, Cubbage to Nixon again, and say it with me. You got that's a different program. 28-7. Bradford gets the win and a little bit of revenge.
Fighting Christians at UC take on the Hawthorne Hornets. First quarter, UC already down 22-0. Khalil Thompson fires a bullet. He just ripped that one to Zay Hilliard. Puts UC on the board. They would get a 2-pointer as well because a little tush push too. Second quarter we go. UC down 28-8. And watch this one. Ty Keister just lets it fly. Amari Mack somehow comes down with it. Put 6 on the board for UC. 28-15. UC pushes late, but Hawthorne wins this one 42-29.
Englewood visiting Riverside in the backyard tonight. Both teams trying to bump up their win total in 2025. First quarter, Jaden DeLon. Quick pass to Demetrius Hugger. He's got some blockers in front of him. And dives into the corner of the end zone for the Generals touchdown. And when that happens in the backyard, you got to plug your ears because here comes the cannon. Fire the cannon. There it goes, 7-0. Englewood with a little trouble, got the wet ball here. They're going to call this a lateral as it's headed backwards. Recovered by Daryl Gathers, who gathers up the loose ball. A few plays later, DeLon going to complete another quick pass, this time finding Cedric Odell. He will find Bader. 67-0 for Riverside.
The student section at Wilson braving the elements tonight. Comfortable temperatures, if you could avoid some of the rain. And, while I was there, they did. Wolfpack gets a potent offense of the Baldwin Indians. They poured it on. Indians score quickly on the first possession. Sean Jacobs run, play, navigates it into the end zone. He goes 7-0 lead. Baldwin got a fumble recovery on the kickoff, so they had it again. Wolfson's defense steps up on this play, though. Minyar Mir-E-Taran with the quarterback sack. But a short time later, it's 4th and goal. Indians go for it. Baldwin's quarterback, Steven Screws, gets into the end zone. He had a couple of those early. Baldwin, 41-13 over Wilson. We'll be back on the Blitz.
Player of the Week, sponsored by Whataburger.
Well, congratulations to our Week 7 Whataburger Player of the Week. Tony Kennedy from First Coast rushed for 207 on 14 carries, 2 touchdowns. Also accounted for a 52-yard touchdown pass on offense, 4 tackles, and a 100-yard interception return for a touchdown on defense. That's pretty good.
It's 1 yard better than Devin Lloyd.
That's true.
How about Max Newton? How about an 86-yard touchdown run on a QB keeper? Well, that's what happens for Glenn Academy. They get the win 28-2. Big win for Glenn. By the way, Charlton County with a win over Irwin County. Big win for them tonight as well.
The Smart Play of the Week is brought to you by the FSCJ Mandarins.
Cy Cubbage hit Camonte Nixon a couple of times. We thought this one was really good.
He kept the feet in.
How did he reach over almost behind the guy?
Yeah.
Heck of a play.
5'8", I'm never doing that
Look at
play, so I don't know, man.
Terrific. It's great. 28-7 win for Bradford, a big one over the defending state champs.
Yeah, likely for a district championship and a home game in the playoffs. So exciting stuff there. All right, we're going to leave you now with our Band of the Week from Bishop Snyder. Appreciate everyone joining us here on the Friday Night Blitz.
Fire Twirlers.
The Fire Twirlers. Yeah, that was in the highlights. I guess they could have put it with the band. But there were Fire Twirlers. Highlight of the night there.
Thanks for watching Action Sports Jax Friday Night Blitz, sponsored by Whataburger, just like you like it.
Hey everybody, welcome into the Friday Night Zone Blitz. Brody, the rush is over. We've made it through another week of high school football, and here we are, Friday Night Zone Blitz.
Yeah, we made it out of the monsoon week. There's usually 1 week out of the year where
this was it.
A big, just torrential downpour just happens throughout the area. You know, every game in the area, it seems like it was just raining off and on. Some places harder than others. I would say for Mandarin Fletcher, it's definitely pouring at halftime and before the game. But there was
during the game.
And there was some points where it stopped.
Third quarter was bad.
Oh yeah, coming out of half was bad. And Fletcher had to sit in it.
Oh man, that was tough seeing them at halftime.
I felt bad for them.
Oh man, you got to feel that affected the game somehow.
It probably did. Like they were probably just. I mean, I know
they did not have much energy when they went back to the
sideline. I know they weren't happy with Mandarin getting that 2-point conversion. I feel like that 2-point. If Fletcher stops that 2-point conversion before half, I feel like they would have had a lot more energy going in and out of half. But that 2-point conversion, they know it's going to be a low-scoring game. They know that would have mattered a lot, which it ultimately kind of did. But yeah, sitting in the rain, man. I mean, it's a part of home field advantage, in my opinion.
Comfortable in the locker room.
Leaders need to step up and get some energy on the team. It's time to go play some football. And you know what? They did show up in that second half. Just Mandarin, just more energy over there, I would say, coming out of half.
Yeah, they were running out of the tunnel fired up. I will say about the rain games, it's the best my hair has ever looked on the Friday Night Zone Blitz. I tell you, the wet hair hits different. I don't know what it is.
Telling you, man, you need to get some
football. Let's talk some football.
Conditioner. All right, Chandler.
Chandler.
Let's talk some football.
It's 11:38 at night, Chandler.
Got a lot of games to go over.
Chandler, I'm going to be honest. We got back here, we had pizza, and we watched playoff baseball. I need someone to update me on tonight's happenings. So what did we miss here outside of Mandarin Fletcher in the area?
I got some scores down.
Let's hear it.
Nice and Bartram. Nice won 10-0, which was kind of a close game.
How about that?
Yeah, little shocked. I mean, it is a rainy game. It was a rain game, so those games are always just way different than what a dry game would have been. But thought Nice would have put it on them a little bit more, maybe by like 3 scores, to be honest.
Both teams are going to be fired up, though.
Yeah.
In that game.
Yeah.
One's missing their defensive coordinator, one with the head coach, and there's been a lot between those two teams about it. There's a lot on both sides. You know, both of those teams were ready to go.
Oh, yeah. A lot of chatter on social media.
But there always is.
Yeah, there always is. But
2025.
That game, I don't know. That game felt different.
Yeah.
I feel like there were
like a lot of times you'll see like the players that have issues. Right there, it's like the coaches.
Everybody.
Everyone.
Everybody took it to heart. You could definitely tell. Yeah, but it turned out to be a good one. Low-scoring game. Bartram couldn't get in the end zone. I wonder if they're ever close. We obviously couldn't watch it because we're calling the Fletcher Mandarin game. But I wonder if Bartram had
game, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
All the flag. I mean, a lot of injuries, a lot of flags.
Yeah.
Refs misspot the ball. But other than that, yeah. What's the next game, Chandler?
Ponte Vedra, Middleburg. Ponte Vedra wins 41-14.
Wow. I saw Coach Price giving like a speech to his kids at the end of the game. He goes, you know, it's not always pretty. That sounds pretty.
We'll pull it up.
Let's hear. Wait, you got it?
I got it.
Let's see it.
Hopefully this is it. Here we go.
I thought they were an improved football team from last year, and it was businesslike, and then we got some emotion going. And listen, it wasn't perfect. It wasn't perfect. You still got to work hard and get better, right? But ain't this fun? Ain't this fun? Let's keep this thing going as long as we possibly can, right? I want to play this thing another 10 weeks, and we'll play out in December, and we, because you know what? I like it. I like spending time with you.
I love you, Coach. I love you, Coach Wright.
I think that's good, Chandler.
Bring a towel.
Yeah, I guess I misheard it.
Yeah, it wasn't perfect. No football game is perfect. I've yet to see a perfect performance from a football team. I mean, like 77-0 earlier this season is pretty close. But, I mean, it's a 41-14 win. You'll always be happy with that, and that's against an undefeated Middleburg team. I know Middleburg, I think, it was at least a little close at the start. wasn't it? Or
Oh, yeah, it was 13-7 at halftime.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That was a big second half.
So, okay.
That's a big game.
And it was 20-7, and then they got a pick, so they had a chance on Ponte Vedra's side of the field, and then Ponte Vedra picked it. That's where the game changed.
If you haven't been listening, Brent, we've been watching too much baseball since we got back, so Chandler's letting us know what happened tonight, and everyone's getting our live reactions too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm sure they're just eager for that. Yeah. This audience probably isn't watching the baseball game.
Yeah.
But when there's two out, the runner on second and nobody out, you might want to pull one to the right side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Move the runner?
Analytics
doesn't say that, I know.
Analytics wants you to hit a home run.
Are we going to the 12th? Is that what we're doing? We're going to the 12th?
Going to the 12th.
I'm going to be here all night, waiting on that one swing.
And
everybody trying to hit a homer.
It's going to be great.
What's the equivalent of everybody trying to hit a homer in football?
Just keep
whatever
taking
tonight's
shots?
passing game was for Mandarin and Fletcher.
Yeah, not a lot of intermediate or short passes from either teams. Both teams, when they did pass, which was a lot more than you would think in a rain game, they're going deep.
Yeah, I did notice that. I know you guys were talking about maybe screen plays and stuff. And
it was like one or two.
Yeah, not really a lot of them.
I think Mandarin had 3 passes under 10 yards. One was picked. One was, I think they were trying to set up a tunnel screen. Oh, they had one with Bryson right.
Yeah, they hit a tunnel screen, and then earlier they missed it, but Knox Annis.
That was a good play.
Yeah, it was a good play by Annis, but that was like the only other time that they were thinking about.
And then the hitch route on the other side of the field, they got picked. But everything else was a shot downfield.
Yeah.
Do you think Bryson Wright was held in check somewhat today because of the weather or because of Fletcher?
Both.
Yeah, a little bit of both.
I think Fletcher, credit to Elijah Keys when he was on him.
Yeah.
It wasn't just Keys. Like, they were trusting their corners on him, and then they make sure safety's there to help out. But they did a nice job in their coverage with him.
Even the nickel, they just let their nickel go on him too. But the safety would always shade
help,
on that
yeah.
side.
I think it was tough because I feel like every ball except for the screen to right and the hitch, there were a lot of jump balls. And you trust Bryson Wright in those scenarios, but most of those times double, triple coverage. The one catch he had was amazing.
Yeah, it was good. Good throw, by the way, too.
Oh, yeah, good ball. But the rest of them, I feel like Mandarin didn't do the best job of getting him the ball easy ways. Like, you got to... With his ability to make guys miss and what he can do after the catch, they need to do a better job. At least tonight, they didn't do a good job of it. Get him some screens. Get him some quick routes where he can make something happen. Not just, a couple tunnel screens and then everything way down the field, throw up a prayer.
It was with both teams. Like, I was watching, before this game, I was watching Atlantic Coast versus Fletcher. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, wow, they love receiver screens. They kept throwing it in trips, throwing that bubble out there all the time. I could have counted like 10 or 12 from that game. And in this game, Fletcher didn't throw it once. And you would think they would throw it in a rainy game.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to throw the ball in a rainy game, you don't want to throw it deep. Throw it like a nice little check down something to get one of your athletes in space.
Let Jones Smith do something.
Right? Like, they got one of the, number one's fast guy. He's a fast kid, man. And I just didn't, and that's their screen guy. I didn't see it once. I was a little shocked by that.
Yeah, we were talking about Mandarin, though. They ran the ball pretty well, and
Yeah,
that part of it, because for Wright and Annex, but they ran the ball pretty well.
All their running backs did. They run that ball hard. They run it with speed, and they do a nice job. Their blocking was tremendous tonight. Credit to Mandarin's offensive line and their defensive line. Both of those sides of the ball, the front seven for Mandarin, and then their offensive line, they controlled the line of scrimmage. And they did a great job of that throughout the entire night. And then those running backs, when they had opportunities to make plays, they made plays. And they were explosive.
Couple of scores, by the way. Mandarin wins 22-13. Baldwin over Wolfson 41-13. Impact Christian beats Paxson 25-14. Riverside big over Inglewood 67-0. Ed White 49-6. Rains 27-14. So Rains had, again, was it the weather? Was it Madison County? Madison County's got a very good program, always has. It was 19-14 in the fourth quarter, so that's really the only time that Rains has really had to stress a little bit this season so far, and that might be good for him.
That's one game we did hear about, because it was Madison County runs a wing tee.
Yep.
And it was a rainy game, and with Rains, they got a good run game, but they're so explosive in the pass. And Madison County, that's kind of they were playing Madison County style of football.
Yeah.
And I think that favored them for a little while, but good on Rains to, fight through it, get a win, and it wasn't their prettiest win of the season, I'm sure. It was a tight game, and
I think it'd be
that's
good
a big
for 'em.
test for them, and they came out on the right side of it.
Yeah, we showed it too. Madco had a touchdown return.
I thought Madison County was a little down this year, though.
They might be. They haven't been as good as they were in general. Like they got a little, probably I would say a little Trinity and UC feeling to them, where their history is really good. So you just always think they're good, but they're less dominant than they've been. And I don't. But still, again, the weather is a neutralizer in a lot of this stuff, especially if you're an underdog, and you can only do so much. I mean, then you go look at Nice and Bartram Trail, right? 10-0. Nice completed 3 passes today. That's it. 3 passes. Colin Graff says at least my best ever seen in the game that he's been a part of. But their defense hung in there. They got to play with it. I mean, it was pouring in the first half.
I saw some clips. It looked pouring over there, and I don't know if it's probably not too smart to throw the ball in that rain, and especially with the sophomore QB. And was Bartram ever close to scoring?
I don't really know. It's hard to tell. We didn't have any in the highlights that looked like they were close to scoring, so not sure.
Madison County has 2 wins this year, but they've played an incredibly hard schedule.
Yeah, they'll play everybody. Everybody's hard. Bowles by the Winds win 48-0 over Jackson. Oakleaf 24-0 over First Coast. I thought Bishop Kenny's wins a nice one, 42-0 over Menendez, because Menendez has played some good ball this year, and that was on the road down there. They end up getting it done. Yulee beat Fernandina Beach 28-0. They'll get rains in a couple of weeks, I think. Creekside 35-6 with that district championship as they continue to play better. Ponte Vedra 41-14, you guys have mentioned. St. Augustine wins 56-7. They win a district championship. Tokoi loses to Buchholz. Baker County, nice one over Sewanee, 28-21 in overtime. Columbia keeps winning 44-0. Terry Parker gets their first win of the season, 32-6 over Westside. So some of the scores in the area tonight. And Bradford, we showed you play-by-play. That one, 28-7 over Newberry. That's over the defending state champs and a team that beat them twice last year. So Bradford looking good. It was 7-0 at halftime, and then they built a 28-0 lead. So that's impressive.
That was a game we kind of thought was going to be all Bradford, because Newberry has struggled this year. They got whooped by UC. They've had some tough losses. And then at Bradford, you just imagine how fired up they were coming into that game.
Absolutely.
So that was one. That's a good win for Bradford. Bishop Kenny, that's a nice win. Creekside, Ponte Vedra. I'm looking forward to some matchups in the final week of the season that I've circled. I'm like, these are going to be some good games. Creekside, Ponte Vedra is one. St. Augustine and Mandarin, I'm very excited to see how those two teams match up. Ed White and Baldwin, our game of the week, is going to be fun to watch. I think that's going to be one that lights up the scoreboard. And I know there's some other matchups in the area that week that are going to be really good. There's some exciting games coming up here over the next few weeks, and I'm really excited to see how it all shakes out. We're getting into that point of the season where districts are being decided, where playoff positioning is at the top of everyone's minds, and every game is amplified even more as you kind of get the picture of how your season's going. So there's going to be some key games for certain teams when it comes to the playoffs and their districts. So there's a lot to look forward to over these next few weeks.
Yeah, no doubt. I think, once you get your district set, and then you start working on that at-large stuff. And so that's where it's going to be interesting to where some of these teams factor in.
And if you do win your district, you still got to get a good seed. You don't want to win your district and be an 8 seed.
That's true, especially with some of the powers across the state. And Coach Sullivan continues to tell us, too, and I think he's got a good point. It's kind of a fun point, is a lot of the top teams in our area obviously not in the same classification.
Yeah.
So you can make some runs with a lot of different local teams that we have in your rankings list. Maybe we have those rankings if you haven't shown them yet. But as we discussed about a couple hours ago now with the rankings, everybody survived in advance. Beachside is going to make up that game against Fleming Island. They did not play tonight, so they will play on November 4th, which is a Tuesday, interestingly enough. But everybody else there on that the other 7 won tonight. So I'm not sure you're going to shake it up that much.
I don't know. I mean, there's what was the score of the Oakleaf game?
24-0.
Against who?
First Coast.
First Coast, yeah.
Again, even those games like 24-0, like you don't have a good feel for with all the weather. It's really hard to have a good feel for who
I just feel like Oakleaf's coming together a little bit, and I think that I'm really excited because in 2 weeks we got Oakleaf and we got Mandarin.
Yeah,
that's going to be a game.
That'll be a big game. And then Mandarin's got St. Aug right after that.
Yeah.
And the more I've seen these teams develop, the more I'm starting to like Oakleaf in that matchup. And that's where I'm kind of thinking with the rankings, like, there's some things that maybe could shake up, but yeah, all those teams survive it. I think, and at the top, you mentioned teams that can make runs. You look at Reigns, you look at Bulls, St. Augustine. There's a lot of teams here that can, and especially some teams that if they click, they become very dangerous. Obviously, you got Mandarin, you got Oakleaf, you got Nice. You got a lot of different teams that when they're on, they are very, very dangerous teams that are tough to stack up with. And if those teams are playing their best football in November, those are teams that can go very deep in the playoffs.
You mentioned a fun game. You might have already said it, but Nice Beachside later in the year. It's like 3 weeks down the road. That could be. That's a big scoring game, like the Baldwin and White one might be. That could be a lot of fun. One other note about Oakleaf. Jack McKissick, quarterback, was our committed to the uncommitted, presented by Nimnik Buick GMC. So highlighted him a little earlier tonight on the show. So if you ever want to go back and take a look at that, young man, senior quarterback, 6'2", 200-pounder. He's played a lot of good football for Oakleaf. Sully's high on him, and hopefully some colleges will be high on him as well.
He's had some good seasons over there at Oakleaf.
He's had some big wins because they've had some big wins. Right?
Oh, yeah.
So you got to manage those wins as a quarterback. And he's done a nice job of that.
He's had a lot of, he had a lot of touchdown, 30 touchdown passes last year.
I feel like you're right. Yeah. Last year was a big year for him.
Yeah.
So anyway, fun night overall. You all right there, Weber? You got it?
Yeah, I bumped his first. I put my hand in his camera without realizing, so I covered that up by throwing a thumb up there to try and fix my own camera. And in the process, I bumped the other camera. I'm actually on this camera all along up top, so it doesn't even matter.
That's good work by you right there, Chandler.
Yeah, he discovered the up top.
Yeah, you got the Skycam zoomed in.
It's a little blurry, but
we're working on it.
Maybe it's covered in rain, like many folks were tonight.
I like that camera over this camera, though. Good view.
Oh, the up top?
Yeah, the up top.
Yeah, I like it. Works.
I kind of like that too.
I feel like it fits with the lighting better.
I think so too. I think it's pretty good.
I don't feel like this lighting does me favors over here. I feel like my skin looks about 50% lighter.
Sounds like
we both look pale right now.
Well, there's probably a reason for that. Yeah. Well, Austin usually sits in that chair.
Austin is a very different figure than me.
Yeah.
It's a little different, so the lighting might be a little off.
I get this headset on, and you can tell that a very large man normally has this headset.
This is true.
You need bigger ears, man.
Yeah. I made sure I rep the right jersey in the seat. Normally there's this ugly Brew Crew jersey that's over here.
Yeah, very good. Very true. Those Brewers jerseys that he wears actually are kind of cool looking.
No, they're not, man.
What do we got? It was first and second in the 12th. Did they score?
Stop talking baseball. Who even started that baseball
Second and third. What'd they do? Bunt? Maybe they did.
Top the 12th, bases loaded.
Oh. Bases loaded now.
I don't even know why
Top
I'm
of the 12
asking. I
Tigers.
don't care
Tigers.
or know anything about baseball.
Oh, 2 outs.
2 out.
2 outs now. Yeah.
All right.
Drama.
Good ball game.
You
On
watch that
Fox
on
30,
Fox 30, by the way.
Fox
Action
30.
News Jacks. Go check it out. And then the Blitz will be on 30 minutes after that ends. Although they'll probably do post-game coverage too. Won't they?
Yes, they will.
Of course they will.
You guys, did you
Catch
go
the Blitz
did you go
around
to the
1
Monday
a.m.?
night game or just Noah?
I couldn't go. No, I had exams the next day.
What?
That was a fun one.
Man, some things you got to sacrifice, dude. Like,
I'm telling you, that place is rocking,
I
man.
didn't do good on
how
it
many Monday
anyways.
nighters do you get?
Are we going Sunday?
To what?
Game.
I didn't know that was an option.
Seahawks.
Probably not, though.
Yeah.
Probably not. Got a lot of homework to do.
Oh, man, school.
Golly, where do you go to school? Harvard?
Right?
Valencia.
I'm
like, I went to
community college. I have so much stuff to do.
Studying
for
to be
one
a
class.
doctor?
No, man. Communications. I don't know what's going on.
Communications. This shouldn't be that hard.
I did
Don't
do a
take
little
Renaissance Humanities. I don't know what's going on.
Man, my humanities.
Open Jesus, dude.
That,
That was
hey,
awesome.
I will tell you, that will really help you in the communication field.
Yeah.
I did humanities at St. John's River
The core
State.
classes, you know.
My
Jeez.
humanities teacher at St. John's River State graded English harder than any English teacher I've ever had.
No, it's just like a ramped up history English merge. That's what it feels like.
We got Google for that. I don't.
Right?
Exactly.
Sounds like a scam.
I do not need to know about this art piece from Greece.
I had 30
in the
fill in the
15
blanks.
Someday you'll be on Jeopardy. It might help.
I'm never going to be on Jeopardy. I'm a Wheel of Fortune type of guy.
Yeah, me too, actually. Yeah. Weber's more of
My mom's
Jeopardy
great at
guy.
Wheel of Fortune. Shout out to her.
I'm really good at Wheel of Fortune too, by the way.
I always wonder
I'm
at
humble.
Wheel of Fortune. Like, I'm pretty good at Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
I think we all think we're good. Like, I
I'm
don't know
not
how
good
good
at it.
I,
I
but I
think
think
a
I,
game. Seems like all you guys are good at.
I think I am pretty good at it. But I wonder if I would freeze in the moment
Let's get an action.
because it's
let's
totally
get a
different
sports
if you're
Wheel
in
of
the
Fortune.
moment. It's easy from your couch.
You give me a sports category on Jeopardy, and I feel very good about that.
Yeah, that's one every 18 shows, and it's just one category of 10 over the course of an episode.
We need to do a sports.
That's my
Jeopardy
favorite
here.
part about all those smart people on Jeopardy.
And
is
then
they're
they're just like,
there's like, hey, this guy played for the Yankees. His first name was Babe. They're like,
I have no idea. The pig? I don't know. Yeah, it is funny when you say those.
And then you ask him about some random thing from history in like the 1300s. What was the name of this sailor?
Yeah, they got that.
This sailor.
So true. I love the fact though that you guys at your age still like watch Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune. That's unbelievable.
There's a reason why I haven't said anything. I don't watch it.
Yeah, me too. I don't watch that either.
I grew up on it. It's
Yeah.
always
He's
on
too
at
busy
dinner time.
studying.
Have you ever seen Jeopardy?
I've never watched an actual episode, only like clips.
Okay, well, yeah,
I never
'cause
watched
you'll
Wheel
see
of
the
Fortune
clips.
either. I was about to say I'm more of a Family Feud guy because I don't do either. Sure. I don't know.
What, you don't do Family Feud either?
No, I said that's the only one I've ever watched.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only show. No, Deal or No Deal.
Yeah,
I used to watch
Howie.
that. Yeah, I like him, man. He's funny.
Who's that one?
Howie Mandel.
Oh, yeah.
I'd take the first deal, by the way.
Would you?
I think so. Like the first one, like
You're guaranteed it.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like maybe after like a few cases, I'd go. I just know I'd leave early if I was in that.
I think
I'm
there's
leaving
like
early.
some Saturday Night Live sketch of like
You know,
Deal
like
or
they
No
tax
Deal.
you on it
There
and
is.
stuff. Like if they're about to give you $12,000, it really doesn't come out to that much.
Whatever. If I get $6,000, I'm happy.
Which gets me on Family Feud being the worst prize
It's amazing.
in all of
How
game
have they
shows.
not bumped that up?
Because
What
as
is
a
the prize? I forgot.
$20,000
They
if
don't
you
have
win,
to.
but that's for
That's
a
why.
family of 5. So that's $4,000 a pop.
After
and then
taxes.
after taxes, it's like $2,800.
You make a
that you
lot
get.
more though by not
that's if
bumping
you
up that
win.
price.
I thought you want a Nissan car to be
You
honest.
got to get 5 wins to get the car.
I guess I don't watch
And then what
Family Feud
happens?
as much
By the
as
way,
I thought.
if you win the car, then what happens? Which of the 5 people gets the car? Are you sharing it? Does
sell
everybody
it.
get 1 weekday? Oh,
Yeah.
you sell it. Then that's going to get taxed too.
This
just
is the most
hit me.
passionate
There's-
I've ever seen story.
I
quite
actually
frankly.
never thought about the prize. I've never even.
It's terrible.
I just watched like the.
I love that I sat down
stuff.
7 minutes ago and I haven't heard a word of high school.
I know. I was just about to say. I imagine
we just
people
did 5.5
Yeah,
hours.
I know.
I
Whatever.
imagine people just
I
tuning in right now, looking for the high school football talk, and we're talking about
is
Family
way
Feud
better.
prize money.
They're good.
But
It wasn't really
it's a
much
passionate
tonight.
topic.
Just rain.
Yeah, there's a lot
The,
of rain.
the teams that should have won. Was there any upsets?
Not too many.
I didn't
tight
hear
games
any when you
either.
named it.
Old Plank Christian got a 2-point win over Oak Hall.
There wasn't
Oh
really
my.
any surprises.
So it's
no.
Old Plank.
Yeah, so it's like
And it wasn't like
Have
there
we
were any
actually
close
had a lot of
games.
surprises this year?
yeah.
I'd call St. Augustine over Bulls at the time.
Yeah, okay.
There's been
Fair
some
enough.
here and there.
Um,
I thought Nice was going to beat. I mean, we all thought Nice was going to beat St. Aug. I don't know about you two, but we thought Nice was going to beat St. Aug. Didn't happen.
I tell you what,
I don't know if
you
you've
talk
seen
to
my pick
coaches in
segments.
the
I almost always pick St. Augustine.
you talk to coaches in the
my
area. I
guys.
think coaches were taking St. Augustine in that one.
Okay, so that might be. But I'm saying there's not doesn't feel like there's been a lot of that.
Not too much parity, no.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't. I'm drawing a blank. I can't. Maybe
Maybe
Ed White
lost
losing
to
to
IMG.
Who did Ed White lose to?
Merritt Island.
Yeah.
Was that an upset?
Merritt Island's good.
Yeah,
Merritt
Merritt
Island's
Island was good. I don't think I think the way it happened was kind
Yeah,
of
the way it-
right. I mean, we've had a lot of good finishes. I'm just saying.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't think we've had a ton of like upsets.
No, you're right.
No?
I don't
so
know, but
far.
that's also a yearly thing where each level you go down, you're less likely to kind of get upsets, right?
Oh, yeah, I mean,
you talk about the NFL being a
gonna be
coin
very
flip.
college
I mean,
football,
like
like.
what the Giants did to the Eagles. Then you go to the college level, and it's less likely that you're going to have Virginia beat Florida State or something of that sort, where you get that 20-something point upset.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you
Riverside
go to
came
high
close
school.
this year.
Riverside
came
nearly
close to
did
the-
against St. Augustine.
And
That would've
maybe
been
that would
a
be the
good
one.
example.
Orange Park beat Riverside.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's actually a
That
good
was a
one
pretty
right
So
big
there are
upset.
still some upsets out there. It's just each
Not
level
as,
you go
like-
down, you don't have as many.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird, right? Because like even Bartram, like if they had beaten Nice, I would have said it was probably an upset.
Yeah.
Because,
yeah.
Sure.
but they didn't. And so there's just even UC and actually Bishop Kenny beat UC.
Yeah.
Felt like one.
Yeah.
That
I think
felt like an
everybody.
upset.
I mean, everybody was picking UC.
That felt like one.
I mean, going into that game, I thought me and you were thinking Bishop Kenny.
I think a couple of you guys picked
But,
UK.
but even that's a 50-50 thing. So
I took UC. I think a few
I thought we were thinking UC.
Glen Academy over Brunswick would have been a huge.
That would have been sick. But either way, though, it was awesome. Not saying that sounded like I was rooting for Glen Academy. No, I wasn't rooting for him, but that was a really good game.
I want to hear your thoughts on officiating here tonight. At one point, we were listening in live.
We were listening in live.
And I think you just went.
That's why I texted you guys.
You went, oh, gosh. Or something like that. You just you could not believe
Didn't like that pass interference call, did you?
I was laughing.
Have you seen the replay?
I saw it in real time. I didn't think it was pass interference either. I don't think he even touched him.
It was just everything going up to it, like how many times they misspot the ball tonight, and like we had to stop play. Like they would wait till everybody would line up, and they would blow the whistle. Wait, we spotted the ball wrong, and that happened multiple times. Also, I saw a Fletcher D lineman jump off sides. Maybe you might have. I don't know if he fully did, but then the O lineman reacted to it, got back set, and then they said hike, no flags. And I was just dumbfounded by that. I was like, well, if you see that much movement, something happened.
By that time, they were out of flags, maybe.
Not to mention, there was so much leading up to that play that happened on the field that was just wild.
Some of the wildest sequences. That was probably the wildest sequence we've seen. That was. I don't know what was going on. Just questionable reffing, and then like. Why are you throwing the ball at that point in the game? I don't know. But, what happened? And Mandarin got the win. It didn't matter.
Tough night, by the way, to officiate because you don't even know where the lines are.
Unless they're made out of mud like they were at Mandarin. Like, it was funny how, like, the lines, you could see, like, the mud lines on
it looked like the number 10
on the yardage.
On one of them. I was I was staring at that sometimes.
But tough conditions for everybody.
We're doing overtime.
Except Chandler. Chandler was fine. He was inside the whole time.
Okay, so we're overtime now, so we can get back to Family Feud, right?
Yes, we can. Off the air.
Yes.
All right, Chandler, good work back there, man. Back to Monday for the Blitz breakdown.
Baker County with an OT win over Sewanee.
That was a nice win. 28-21. Yeah, it was.
I'll throw that in there.
So the Mariners are threatening.
Oh.
In the bottom of the 12th.
Detroit.
Fox 30, right?
Get that on the TV.
All right. Have a good day, everybody, and a good weekend.